This is what we all were waiting for, a crowd match, finally.
You've been counting.
Absolutely.
You counted. I know you counted. Every single one of those days you counted. Paper X starting off on the attack. We've talked about their pace. We talked about their tempo. But look at that ball. It's actually OPTIC who's taking space initially.
Very fast up Elan, but still the same thing for Paper X. And it's a shot from Ye. Almost gets to it, he does.
First blood, second blood going in favor of the North American World Champions. But Paper X able to counter back, numbers in favor of the green wall. Spike sitting down too long as Jing tries to reposition, tries to take the space and get the spike back down.
You heard Benkai say, we are chaos, and these are the types of moments they really like, where they can work the map, spread deep, but right now it's a tall task.
The thing is, you have two options against Chaos. You can try to weather you, or you can fight Chaos with Chaos, and that's exactly what OPTIC is doing. Victor already gets another. Jing is left to roam, and he's not going to be around for long. OPTIC get the first round.
And Paper X has been phenomenal in pistol rounds this tournament so far. They've won 7 of 8.
And those stats any day of the week.
Yeah, OPTIC immediately clapping back at that. And they've been working on these pistol rounds. They've been working on the rounds that they've been struggling with, the non-gun rounds. And this tournament's definitely been a change. And that's what you need if you want to be repeat champs.
Again, history on the line here for both teams as OPTIC tries to be the first team ever to lift back-to-back trophies, but they have to get past the chaos personified that is Paper X. No force here for them. It seems like they're going light.
Attempt there. And Ye's got the judge locking down Garage.
Great shot out from Forsaken. And he's gonna get a shot in a second, and he delivers.
On the pistol round, or the eco round for them too. This is crazy, but look in the corner. Finesse is still here, and they're not able to trade him off with the smoke from Marv as well. He could get out of the sight and maybe make this manageable.
Ye actually making a really good timing here as he's crept into window. They're walking right into him. He gets 2 with the judge. Not able to get the third, but Benkai weak.
And they flip this around, but the guns now. If Benkai can get in a great position, he's still got the wall as well. It's only Spectres on the other side. Jing! A little too much space taken.
Benkai gets the wall up, gets the spike down, and now with that same judge that caused problems before, try taking some space. Varv extinguishes it. He's gonna get the defuse. It was dicey, but OPTIC get the second ball.
That was more than dicey, Doug. Those first 2 shots from Forsaken were so crispy. But thankfully, Finesse and Marv, they clean it up. And we do get a conversion on the anti-eco, which in the past, it hasn't been great for OPTIC. This tournament, it has been better, like I just said. And we talk about the comps for a second as well. The Deaths was talking about this was maybe a counter pick, and I would tend to agree because Paper X, typically they run the Reyna, they run the double duelist essentially on this map, and we saw that at Masters Reykjavik. But whenever they go up against Neon Comp, they actually run a Sage. They slow it down.
Jing trying to go fast. I'm pretty sure he hit his head on the wall there at the very top.
Still got the jump though. He just wants to get all the way in that position to force them off of long. Force any trap plays off as well, and that Boombot does just that.
Ye with another great shot.
Oh, he's got the Tour de Force.
He's in trouble. He's got the Tour de Force, and you're right, it's up close and personal. He's able to land it first. The second just around the corner. No challenge coming through yet. As Divide backs up, slows the round down. Spike still sitting on A-Long.
And both Forsaken and Jing gone.
Mind Freak is taking so much space across the middle of the map.
He's been insane in moments like this. Super clutch. And that's exactly why he finds the gaps and still going to abuse it. They're not necessarily committing off of this Divide and Mind Freak.
Ness has some utility, but not enough to necessarily delay the plant, so Divide will get it down, and now it's a post-plant situation. The thing is, OPTIC have, in some ways, surrounded them. They're going to be able to approach us from multiple areas.
But also look at the way Paper X is playing. All the way towards the left side, clearing the C-Link.
Yeah.
So they're not really getting surrounded like it looks like from OPTIC's perspective.
The alarm bot is there from Ye. Make sure they don't push out. And Garage Finesse dropping some of the early utility to buy, holding this angle. Spike ticking away. OPTIC's gonna have to go fast. Ye's on the tap. Divide gets the first kill, a 2v2 here.
Enemy remaining.
Quickly turns into 2v1. Marv, he's so good in these situations, but can he pull it off? Can he pull it off? He's got it down to 1v1. The spam across, he's got to get on it. He's going to challenge. He's got to challenge. Device stops it.
And that's a 2v4 for Paper Rex to cancel the bonus from OPTIC. And Ye even started off with the opening kill, grabbed the tour de force, shut down the hit on A. And that exactly was the situation OPTIC wanted to go through at the beginning of the round, but Mind Freak is phenomenal. The desk touched on it. This guy is playing at an absurd level. For what we saw at his international debut, nowhere near that level. He is way above it.
Again, early aggression into A. Victor's already worked his way half down long. It seems like Paper Rex want to go to C. Forsaken may get the timing, he does. And look at Marv, he's going pushing. There's someone on the other side of the smoke. Jin gets him too.
And it's clean. OPTIC just does not expect him to be so far forward without using much. There was a couple of smokes in garage, and Forsaken just finds Ye's TP, and they force that out of him.
Spike planted.
On other parts of the map, this is definitely going to be a save for OPTIC.
It's toughest too. They shouldn't be able to save the op that they brought into the round. Seems like it may just be out of reach.
And I think already, Paper Rex is hitting OPTIC with so much out of the prep work that would have been expected from OPTIC coming into this, right? They know they have these two comps. They know they play the double duelist. That one's aggressive. The Paper Rex comp here, though, looks on the surface to be slow, to be controlled. Wait a second. Wait a second, Doug. Neon is all the way in.
No way.
Oh my goodness.
No way.
There's just not enough time, but such a cool attempt from Victor.
That'll make you think about it. You don't leave the spike again, not like that.
Those two opening kills from Paper Rex, though, definitely not something OPTIC expected, and they're going to have to try to figure out a way to stop it. Finesse said, every team has tells. But for the most of teams who play Paper Rex, they're not able to find them, at least on the international stage. The only team who really worked them was Zeta, and that was still a very close game, so it's going to be difficult no matter what. OPTIC here, a very light buy, obviously the two weapons they saved.
Marv with that Marshall not finding any value. And off of that, Paper Rex are able to waltz their way into C for free. And you've got Victor, who may hit a timing. He's got the rifle, but it seems like My Freak is waiting for it just on the other side of the box. Yep, Victor falls.
And there's no way in. The wall in garage, the slow with the C's on spawn as well. There was an attempt from Victor, from Crashes that looked kind of nice. The spam through the smoke as they walked up C long. There's a nice shot from Ye.
Flash may net him another. Yeah, Forsaken still stunned up, somehow still gets that kill.
I mean, he's stunned and he's jumping up the stairs. That is just ridiculous, but exactly what you expect.
It's Paper Rex. That's the thing you were saying too earlier, but you know, you mentioned Finesse's quote about how every team has tells. The tricky thing about Paper Rex is you may know their tells, and it still may not matter.
They pivot so much, man. Every round they come in with a plan, but the plan is almost to adapt.
Yeah.
And that's such a nice dichotomy. Finesse, who loves to play with the information. Paper Rex, who love to play with the information that they force from the other team. But then from there, it's a mind game all the way.
Good time to check in on a few ultimates. Paper Rex has 3 of 5. Divine Jing also dangerously close to having theirs. While you've got a pseudo-similar situation on the side of OPTIC and Victor, Finesse. Also full guns, full armor on the side of OPTIC.
But no op for Ye.
Yeah.
And that is such a key for him. No way. They already smoked this off early. The trip is too far away. Forsaken is deep in B right now. And once again, Ye is caught.
They don't know. Forsaken behind enemy lines. How long does this trap lay in wait?
Here.
The optimal thing here would definitely be to maybe poke at A, get Ye to rotate.
How?
And the Prowler doesn't spot it.
I mean, it touched him.
He's all the way through A link.
OPTIC maybe in some trouble here, but Victor is able to take care of one. Forsaken on the swing. Now they know there's someone behind enemy lines. The leader for OPTIC down. Number still in favor of Paper X as the spike makes its way through. Crashies tries to get it back. No.
40 seconds. Ye's almost in the sight right now. I don't think they know.
Spike planted.
Oh, Mindfreak turned away at just the wrong time. The Nightfall comes through. Marved again in a clutch situation.
Cover going out.
1v2 against Devi and Forsaken.
They both went hell. This is so good.
Not spotted. But he has no idea.
Cover going out.
They heard the TP, so he's expecting them to think he's up top.
Yeah. Brutal situation there for Marved. But man, well played for Paper X.
That was so well played. There was an opportunity there, though. Crashies, who was stuck A long, and then Ye walking out as well, but one flank was better than the other. If that flash connected for Ye from Marved, maybe there was an opportunity, but Forsaken rips them apart. And that was so fast. Again, they're immediately spotting that trip at the top of B, placing really, really far back, so you can smoke it off like you're going to do a pop into B and dodge it entirely.
Maybe a little something fast coming out of OPTIC down C long. That's exactly it. There's a paranoia. The dash goes through. Ult online for Victor, but there's no one home.
They're going to keep pushing, though. And they have players watching from top window.
He's got to find value. Man, that's so far away. How does he still get a kill?
He's got himself in an interesting spot. The Prowler's so good.
Mess has a rolling thunder, but he's so far away. Rez comes through. As Paper X trying to weather the chaos that's thrown their way, and they find themselves with the numbers advantage yet again.
And that was a wall bang from Benkai, too. But do they expect another push? This one from A lobby. The trip is down, so there's no way they know.
Flankers getting flanked upon flanks. Weapon upgraded for Crashies as he continues his voyage.
Finesse has a rolling thunder. He could definitely invest it here.
Is he going to use it? Steps right up. Early bit of utility initially, and Crashies is there. He's been spotted. Devi taking first. The flash swings through. Finesse can't get in on the action quickly enough, and he has nothing but a sheriff. How do they approach this? The spike goes down. It seems like Crashies is going to try to reposition. Perhaps they play off that rolling thunder once the wall goes down.
Devi is just shoulder peeking long, so he knows Crashies are repositioned at this point.
Gun gives Crashies away. He's so weak. Even off the flash, he's not able to find anything. Mindfreak playing behind the wall. Benkai cleans it up. PRX get to 5.
And that's 5 in a row. 5 in a row for Paper X, where it really doesn't feel like OPTIC, at least in that round. That was an eco. They go for their own aggression, but it gets shut down. Good attempts from Marv to TP in, but the reaction from Paper X every time, Doug, is so good. In spawn there, Devi with the double Prowler to shut down Marv. It's so hard to deal with when those reactions are so good to your initial plan that should catch people off guard.
And the economy on the side of OPTIC has felt sus at best for the entire half. I think they've had, what, 2 gun rounds?
2 saves so far. Yeah, 2 saves so far.
Certainly not where they want to be. You see OPTIC call a timeout as they try to regain control on the situation. Again, opener in a best of 3. History on the line for both of these teams. And man, Paper X, they look entirely unfazed.
Yeah. And it's interesting for them to go to Haven. It's actually very difficult to deal with this veto entirely if you're OPTIC. But Haven is the map that they were straying away from at the beginning of the tournament because of their losses in NA, because of their loss to XSET. And it was very similar situations on their first half defensively, struggling. And right now, definitely looking the same type of way, unless OPTIC right here, out of the timeout, which they've been great at, especially in playoffs. But it has to start here.
Well, you're going to have Ye with the tour de force and then guns the rest of the way. You're absolutely right. It has to start here, Abala. You're going to have to deal with 3 ultimates on the side of Paper X2, including Jinx Showstopper.
Victor loves to go for these early info peaks with the speed that he gets from the high gear.
You want to play? Let's play.
But he doesn't even, so that does speak. Oh, what is that? The satchel up. That's against Ye. What an attempt.
You cheeky son of a gun. Now they understand there's no aggression coming down A. They're going to drop the Cosmic Divide and turn their attention towards C. Gravity Well is going to keep Marv to bay at least for now.
Perfect nade.
Nothing found the paranoia to delay. You see the relay bolts coming through online as well as Marv. Weak, but still back sight.
Good reaction so far from OPTIC to the number of shenanigans here. They're just putting the Cosmic Divide down to find if they challenge, and a lot of teams will. But OPTIC decide not to, and PaperX now has wasted a lot of utility. The Seize is gone, the nade is gone, a slow is gone. So they've got to rely on gunfights.
The thing is, they don't have a ton of time either.
And while this Prowler's going A long right now, OPTIC is super comfortable. They've got the trademark down short and Ye holding an off angle long. So they're not worried about it, and that's why they stack this site.
Jing dashing his way forward. The Showstopper's not going to find any value, but he swings around. He gets the kill with the Vandal instead. There's the Rolling Thunder that we've been waiting for. They're going to try to take the space back. The thing is, with 15 seconds left, they don't have time for a plan B. They have to go forward. And the green wall does not relent. OPTIC get to 3.
That's out of the timeout again for OPTIC. They're so good in those situations, and that was a great adjustment. And they also got hit with that ridiculous Jing boost right here. Doesn't find Ye. That could have changed everything because the setup was hinging on him. That short trademark and then the stack because of it is wonderful stuff. The response is going to be definitely, let's challenge this setup that OPTIC is putting on. But they should know that there was 2 beginning the round.
Victor spotting that haunt early on. Roomba clearing out Barrage. As you see the barrage of bullets follow shortly after. And there it is. Opener again in favor of Jing.
Round after round, they're finding this. A flash for Victor. And Jing wants to punish!
He's insane. He's actually insane. Victor stops it. You have an operator in the hands of Ye. Forsaken has one too.
He smells Ye.
Does he?
He was just aiming there.
He might not. He didn't. Divide did. Victor gets the kill. Op still in play for Ye. Nothing found yet. Benkai has worked his way up short. The wall goes up again. Is Benkai trying to get the high ground? He's going to spot Ye. He's going to land the shots. He's going to get the kill. Not able to get the second to 1v1. Crashies. Divide.
Spike planted.
Flash. Crashies swinging around the corner. He hasn't gotten the timing. Just on the other side. He doesn't land the shots, and Divide turns on him. No way.
And that's crushing. He definitely had the shot. And I was just saying at the beginning of the round to myself, Victor's starting to go for these peaks. They're starting to go for those flash aggressions in middle. So the confidence was building after the round win, but that is, he's going to be hating himself. And he's great in those situations. Crash is one of the best 1v1 players we have in NA.
It's freaking Crashes. Yeah.
There.
Again, aggression here for OPTIC, but low buy.
Finesse has a Guardian on A, and he's the one who's going to be challenged. You see the utility already coming through. The Gravity Well, the Slow Roar, now the Nightfall. Perhaps the Relay Bolts can delay just a tad. Forsaken has already worked his way around. And once again, yeah, it was actually Ye who was still on the site, but Forsaken cleans him up. Forsaken gets 3. 15 HP here too. Finesse still up in heaven. Oh, but he's been spotted. He's been had.
Spam.
Manages to preserve his life, at least for the time being.
But they've got nothing.
One enemy remaining.
Forsaken's working his way towards the ace. Oh, what a beautiful sound. What a beautiful sound. What can Marv find with the shorty? He's gonna 1v5 this thing. What do you think? No, Forsaken gets the ace.
Our first ever global crowd ace. And the paper people are loving it. These first shots clean. OPTIC trying to rush the site. And the spray transfer good from Forsaken. He's up at 14-6 now with that round.
I mean, they fed it to him on a silver platter, too. What a good guy. Guns back in the hands of OPTIC. You see on the timeline, other than round 8, it's been all Paper Rex. OPTIC feel like they're hemorrhaging.
Double satchel up, or just the single satchel.
Is there a challenge?
Oh, that one's shorter, so I don't actually think Jing could get the angle. But it also gives ideas of him hiding there with no information from OPTIC where he peeks later.
Crashies used the Trailblazer there to clear out long, see if anyone was coming. And now off the smoke, perhaps they can pop flash if they feel any sort of threat.
Great
That's
stun.
exactly what they do.
They could follow up with a flash with Victor stuns, but they don't.
Yay with the op. No challenge yet.
Yeah, his angles are just so solid. He's up to old levels of first kill success, but so far this game, he's fragging. But not necessarily when he gets the op in his hands. And they're pivoting again. Dude, another round where Forsaken is deep in the site before any contact has been made.
They have no idea! Forsaken once again gets behind enemy lines. Crashies this time waiting for it. Takes his ear off like Van Gogh. Forsaken no longer around. Do they even try it? I mean, what do they do?
Swapping the ops around. Ye's got the Vandal now.
And it's Marved with the op.
But this slow makes it so difficult, and there's a star there to turn into a grab well as well.
Paranoia.
With the nade.
Well set up. Absolutely right. And it's all about delay. We've talked about what this composition was built for. It is delay, but can you delay long enough? Can you keep OPTIC back? Benkai in so much trouble. Yeah, in a 1v2, and he's
slow.
Into a 1v1. Mind Freak's so weak. He gets a tap, pulls off, swings, land the shots as Ye gets 4, but he's not gonna have enough time.
And as we get
Last round before the switch.
to the dying breaths of this half, OPTIC is in such a massive deficit. A good attempt from Ye, but surely
Remaining.
This is less than ideal.
they can't let Forsaken walk into the site.
Oh, he didn't even get it to half there. That was so close.
Come on! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go, guys. Nice.
Here.
The vibe's good all around for Paper Rex as they're flirting with the 9-3 half.
You want to
Kings of
play?
the world.
Let's play.
Your Tour de Force come through. Spotty buy for OPTIC. That seems to be okay. Victor gets the first with the Guardian. Ye gets the second.
He just walled down mid, spam the first, and then continue with the aggression. But this, again, is where Paper Rex is good at. Nobody's playing on site, but they have the utility to really challenge fast.
Forsaken so far away, though. He's not behind enemy lines. He hasn't gotten into a troublesome spot. Jing getting the spike down. Note again, the light buy for OPTIC. Finesse has a Spectre. Is it gonna matter? Jing goes forward. The Prowler paves the way. The showstopper there. No kills yet.
Hello?
Do they not expect him there? They snap. Jing 3 HP. Finesse gets it. Ye does too. Divide in a 1v3 to close out the half. Almost gets 2 there. He does manage to get the first. Couple members weak. No, not like this. Divide, not like this! The Red Bull clutches. He gets 4 to close out the half. Unreal!
Devi is a monster in these low man situations. The 2 versus 4 earlier. And then this here, a backbreaker as the half ends. Gotta watch this again.
Goodbye. One enemy
And they
remaining.
were all so low. Finesse just a classic too.
We talk about Forsaken. We talk about Benkai, Jing, but Devi is having himself a day. Let's head down to the desk, see what they think about that.
Wow, what a half of Valorant that is. In the end, they're clutching out. But I do want to talk about Ye versus Forsaken. I think a lot of eyes were on both of these guys. And they're just showing up, going back and forth, Brent, back and forth between them.
Two heavy hitters going at it in this match right now. And honestly, it hasn't really, I'm not going to say it hasn't been a difference maker, but it hasn't been the primary factor for which PaperX have been winning a lot of these rounds. But it's just been so cool to watch two of these players going at it, man. I mean, look at the amount that Ye is putting up here. 17 kills in the half versus Forsaken on 50.
I mean, if you look at the round differential as well, you just can't even expect that Ye is trying his best. He's got the backpack on. He knows as a chambermaid what it is his role is to do on this map. And they are just battering him, even though he's putting up such huge numbers. Forsaken on the other side, though, how is he behind enemy lines every time I look at the minimap?
And this is what you're going to watch out for with PaperX. If there are holes in your defensive protocol, they are going to be exploiting it all the time. Forsaken was getting so much value on these lurks in the mid-rounding, finding openings, getting the first kills for his team, and it sets up PaperX for these 4v5 post-plants every single time, of which they are always favored. Their post-plant positioning is so good and so clean the way they play crosses with each other.
It's funny you talk about post-plant because there's another guy I got to give a little bit of a nod to, other than Devi's perfect clutch there, Mind Freak, the flank control that he has as a solo player. OPTIC are putting multiple members on this, and Mind Freak is weathering that storm. It's an unbelievable feat.
Yeah, and I gotta say, you move into the next half for OPTIC, the things that were going wrong for you, at this point, you know, Forsaken's not gonna be lurking on the defense side.
Sure.
Well.
Right, I say that.
They're gonna push.
You might end up seeing it, but even still, it's not stuff that you can take from that first half of what to adjust into the next one.
Absolutely.
Because the sides are swapping around, and they're gonna be playing this more defensive side of comp. How OPTIC deal with this is gonna be super intriguing, because if they end up losing this map, the rest of the series might be looking incredibly one-sided.
Got to remember, OPTIC's map pick, as you said, if they lose it, there are big questions to be had.
Yeah, we have a quick tech pause here. Something is going on the side of PaperX. We're going to try and sort that out as quickly as we can. But I got to say, how uncharacteristic is this of OPTIC to be losing those clutches? They lost a 3v1.
Right.
When was the last time we seen OPTIC in that position?
Yeah, they've just been a little bit sloppy, I think, when it comes to these retakes. It's clear that that's their game plan. They're often playing off-site for the retake situations, but you can't do that against this composition, this setup. If you're giving them the opportunity to set up 3 Sage walls and block off one avenue for it, it makes the retake, the fast, bursty retake with the flashes, so much harder to play for. And that's what this comp wants from OPTIC. I feel like they should have been fighting way earlier for map control and fighting them before they let them set up in the post plants in the first place. But they were really struggling to keep a tight-knit defensive protocol, I think, and not let those lurks come through.
I will give OPTIC the benefit of the doubt here, is that if you look over their Haven over this, and of course Haven as a map just being one of those maps that you know is going to have a bit of attacking sidedness, I looked over at what they've performed so far in Copenhagen. They've won 83% of their attacking rounds and a mere 40% of their defensive rounds on this map. So if there is a half for them to come back on, this is one of their strongest attacking maps. This is something they can bring back. It is not outwardly for them to be able to do so.
But also Victor, he's going to have to show up on the attack side, Bren. I know it's been a loss so far, but I think if they want a chance in this, he's got to do something here.
Yeah, it's a player that we haven't really mentioned that much as well in the pre-show, but honestly, a lot of OPTIC's wins are incredibly contingent on that guy playing really well. Victor having a good game on the Neon or the Jet, whatever they're putting him on these days, it is honestly so important for them that he does end up having a good moment. And in the middle portion of this first half, you did see those big moments. You saw the 3Ks coming out. Victor was able to return a lot of the kills and over-aggression and punishing it from PaperX. But overall, I mean, he is sitting second in terms of the scoreboard for his team right now as well. He is putting up big numbers, but I don't want to single him out as an individual that needs to, you know, step up, because I think he has been playing well in the first half. It's come down to the more game plan, I think, of how they were adjusting to the way PaperX were playing. And now, like I said prior, you've got to switch it up again as you go to the next half.
Yeah, well, the tech issue has been resolved now, and it's time to go into the second half and throw this back to Doug and Baller.
Thank you so much, Sue. Yes, we figured out the tech pause. Bala, OPTIC have been here before. In fact, this tournament.
Yeah, I mean, just last match against DRX. And this time they're on the attack side of Haven, which has not been stellar, although this tournament so far, quite good. And this is why Victor on the Neon has been phenomenal on the entries, at least since playoffs has began. But Forsaken's going walkabouts.
Of course he is. Jing is too. Forsaken opener on the pistol round.
He's immediately out, which gives a false sense of security, and Jing's got the frenzy.
If they try to waterfall out a window here, this may be a problem. And yeah, it just gets destroyed.
Head to head, this guy's been nuts.
And even if they don't, even if Jing doesn't get a kill here, He should get a lot of info as to what's going on, but he does. He gets a kill, and it's a big one as the spike's down. Victor tries dashing across the screen, but he's not able to get the kill. Mind Freak, circadian cadence of clicks as he gets the kill.
Wonderful stuff. And it's calculated from Paper X. We talked about the false sense of security. First off, obviously you know Forsaken's gonna go walkabouts, but then he TPs away, and then he also sets up Jing for this ridiculously difficult position to flush out. And he lets a few by too. I mean, so difficult. And there's not even a bomb plant, nothing like that for OPTIC, so this is gonna be a tough road back.
Yeah, this is trouble. You see, even just there, Victor wanting to take that aggressive space, but the sword from Benkai just kind of stops it dead in its tracks. But there's aggression all over the map, man. Look across A main. And there's going to be a fight in Garage 2 seconds around. Oh, he doesn't spot the player right next to him. Finesse is able to clean him up. Benkai.
That hurts.
Yep.
You thought for a moment that there was definitely
Yeah, absolutely.
you know, they recover the Bulldog and then the shots don't land. Maybe they can get that kill and get away with 2 players and a Bulldog, but no. So guns invested this time. Marred with the classic light armor. And only at 5 and 12, a lot of people were looking at him with the tournament he's had so far to definitely come alive. But since Ye has been fragging in the playoffs, Brent mentioned it on the desk, he's been ridiculously good in the playoffs. Everybody else around him, while they've still been okay, it hasn't been the same Marv that we saw in the group stage. It was trying to carry them through losses in certain instances against Guild, the opening match. And 11-3 is definitely not where they expected to be on their map pick.
No, absolutely not. I mean, the Diegesis coming into this was OPTIC, or top of the world.
Yeah.
Right? There's nobody who can hold a flame to them.
Yeah.
But they've just been like a swiftly fading shadow since they got into this match.
Yeah. And ever looming too is the shadow of Bind. That's next. And we already have seen Bind once in this tournament for Paper X, and we saw it last tournament too, and it shook the world. And it's former divine figures, actually, of OPTIC on Bind. They looked so good on that map, but it's crazy to think that we're going to potentially go in there, and they're not the favorites. That's crazy.
I mean, knowing what's on the other side, knowing what's set up for map 2, and then having been punched in the mouth the way they have so far, mentally, how do you even think about that?
Yep.
That's just wild. See a tech pause coming through. We'll get you all figured out. Get back into the action as soon as possible. But for now, OPTIC, through this tech pause, have to sit and reflect on what's happened. And it's not pleasant.
And even just the first 2 rounds have given them a lot to think about. Forsaken is being so aggressive. And it's the tough thing when you actually have aggression in the form of OPTIC's comp going against the ridiculous pace that Paper X is able to put on.
And it's like a 1-2 punch too, man, because they have the pace and they have the speed.
How do you keep up on your side where you're trying to aggress, and then the 2 sides that Paper X as well?
Absolutely.
And that is so chaotic to keep track of as a player, as an IGL, as the pacemakers yourself. Meanwhile, Paper X are so happy to be in that position. They just have such autonomy among all players. They can do whatever they want. It feels like at a whim.
Again, if you are just joining us at home, that score is not a typo. It is an 11-3 half map for Paper X so far, as it seems like they're trying to put OPTIC away. Looks like we're out of this tech pause, again, back into the action as soon as possible. So let's take this moment to re-ground ourselves on what's going on here. We'll take a look at economy, ultimates, and everything in between. Looks like a spotty buy as far as armor goes, but for OPTIC, they will have full guns, while Paper X, they're going to be padding up that bank.
Yeah. The bonus on deck, and they haven't been amazing in these. About the same as OPTIC, but here's the pace. This is going to be a seat crunch, actually, all the way through C-Link for Victor. What a smoke from Mind Freak.
Oh, but Benkai slipped through and Benkai gets 2. He was in garage the whole time. And they'd wrapped around him and it didn't matter.
Player standing.
Now Victor's left in this 1v3. The Prowler in his face. He gets his first, not able to get the second. Victor falls, Paper Rex, map point.
Match point.
And I don't know if OPTIC has a fighting chance for this map. 12-3 is one of the biggest beatings we've seen from OPTIC. 12-4 is where they left off that game against DRX that we were mentioning. And that was an 11-1 half. And their money broken. Their souls broken.
Thank you.
And we've got an Odin on deck too for Devi. And Ye is sitting in the window. If he shows himself, he's dead. TP out, but
Not a good start. The round's already been capsized as they're baptized by fire. OPTIC in a world of hurt. 5v3 already.
Also good for Paper X, and Forsaken is behind them. He doesn't even need them though. Down Sewers, and Victor, the last player left in a 1v4 to try to hold on to map 1.
And you know, maybe in other circumstances, perhaps, but with how poor they've been in clutches, it just doesn't matter. 13-3 on the side of Paper X to start this series, and if that's not a statement going into Bind Ball, I don't know what is.
Yeah, and they certainly showed up in front of the crowd to start things off. What a game. And what I think is the biggest defeat I think OPTIC has faced on an international stage.
Brutal one.
And it is so difficult from here. The path only gets harder. The Death said this is a must-win map. And obviously, I don't think that they think that way, but boy, oh boy.
But low key, I mean, yeah, kind of.
Do we all think that?
I mean, we had clutches, we had aces, we had everything Paper X just in full form here. And for whatever reason, it just seems like OPTIC like to do it the hard way. They start off tournaments very slow. Now they're starting this off very slow. But yeah, obviously, that's not the path you want to take.
Not at all. And you wondered if Bind was going to be in the map pool coming into this, if OPTIC was going to go stray away from Icebox. And I do think that the argument from their perspective was a hard one for them to accept.
Sure.
But everybody, I think, believed that maybe they should take that off. Maybe they should challenge them on Icebox or Breeze instead.
It is very OPTIC, right? To like take that fight head on. We'll see what happens on Bind on the other side of this break. We'll be right back.
I cannot fit in the boxes. Stop it. Quitting was never an option. And you cannot stop it. Nah, you cannot stop it.
Do you feel the weight of time? Why does it hold so strong? One moment it will all be fine, then nothing will be on my mind. Then suddenly I see a sign that I can't deny. See the clouds that are floating over me, and the blossoms falling from the autumn cherry tree. I need the voice in my head to let me be, but there's always more to
Boxes, I cannot fit in the boxes. Stop it, quitting was never an option. And you cannot stop it, nah, you cannot stop it.
It is a great day to be a paper girl here in Copenhagen, Denmark. I'm back on the desk with Brent and Jess. I know, Jess, you're repping the Green War here.
Yeah.
But OPTIC, they have just suffered the biggest defeat they have ever faced here on the international stage. Have you been swayed?
I'm not yet a paper girl. I still wear the green with pride. I still think that there is possibilities. And this isn't a knockout match, so the copium is really strong for me right now.
Yeah.
I respect that.
They've never lost in the rematches.
It's a possibility, so I'm hanging on that. Plus the fact that outside of that, we have to give huge props to Paper X. That performance was unworldly. The kind of thing to come into a map they haven't played on this international stage yet and say, that's all right, you can pick it, but we're ready on it, is unreal. Plus, a bit of a shout out to the man Divide as well. God, they were all stepping up.
And this round in particular is one that I wanted to break down because this was honestly just highlighted how well they've done to counter-strat what they were doing. Victor's lurk through mid here. We didn't see many rounds on it, but Mind Freak places smoke and splits up the C site laterally. You often see it the other way around, but they are just more than ready for exactly how OPTIC are going to be playing this one. More than ready to return with the fire. The trades are instantaneous. Benkai's anchoring down Garage all the time. They came into this map with an incredibly strong game plan of how OPTIC were going to play, and it showed in the scoreline. I mean, 13-3 is absurd.
Yeah, as you guys can see on the MVP powered by AWS there, that Jess, Ye got 18 kills when his team got 3 rounds. How?
Okay, also, of those 3 rounds, one was a pistol, one was a second round, and only one of the other ones, obviously being the third, was a full buy. That conversion rate is, like, if they hadn't won the pistol, they might have walked away 13-1. Think about that possibility. Obviously, it hurts my heart to talk about this and the fact that we're saying that, but that's an unbelievable scoreline for OPTIC to have.
I kind of like it.
You love it.
When one of the best teams in the world gets stomped, because it shows that, honestly, you've got a fundamental outclass going on.
You're so sadistic,
I am a bit weird
like
that.
We got to watch out for you.
Listen, Doug and Bar as well are going to be annoyed at me saying that because I'm sure they wanted a close map. But overall, when you see an absolute dominating performance like that on the stage, this is a team that came ready and here to play. They have counter-stratted, and now we're going into their home territory and bind. I mean, what else are we going to see?
Yeah, before we move on to that, let's check out this Verizon high-speed moment of the match. Of course, Divide, Jess, look at him here.
Did you know he had 100% impact rating? Between the kills, the assists, survival trades, etc. I mean, that's a metric we use to work out whether or not a player is having impacts 100% of the rounds. Every single round in that map, he had an impact, and this was one of his biggest. I didn't expect this clutch to go this way. OPTIC, they're a tight team, they play off of each other. The trades, the triangulation, the crossfiring, that is some of the fundamentals that OPTIC play, and Device splits it down the middle, and he says, you know what, I'll take the 1v1s, I'll use the box to my advantage, and that is an unbelievable amount of game sense that Divide played in that Verizon high-speed moment there. That is, I would absolutely watch that again.
You said he wins those, though.
You
did turned to me, you were like, he's going to win
I
that.
could feel it, man. I was watching it, and how, because OPTIC was so out of sync with how they were playing that. And listen, I'm not going to, not to discredit Divide, because you still have to be skilled to do that. You have to shut down Ye and Marv who are coming at you from the different angles. But, I mean, just outlandish stuff coming out from the Paper X guys. These guys are here to play. And it doesn't matter that they haven't played on the stage up until this point. Like, Divide's been out. He's been in quarantine for most of this tournament. He's out here, and the guy's like playing some of the best Valorant we've seen.
Against OPTIC as well. I think we forget, like, the opponent that they have, they're going up against. You mentioned this already, Brent, but we're heading on to Bind now, and this is where people usually say it's a free win for Paper X. We might as well just give them that win here.
I think that they are the best team in the world right now playing Bind. They have so many cool looks when they play their Euro comp. It's incredibly hard to prepare for because they are so willing to do off-the-cuff plays, stuff that revolves around the TPs, and honestly, Forsaken and Jing, we've been talking loads and loads and loads about them, but it's the support behind it on PaperX that makes this team so dominant on this map. It's their ability to set Forsaken up for great things when he's playing that Euro.
My biggest worry is that when you go up against a team like PaperX on Bind, which is their absolute home playground, this is something that they roam about as if they know it better than anyone else. And you're right, they do. My problem is that if you're OPTIC, you actually have to prepare for your opponent. You can't play your best Valorant because you're constantly having to adapt to what the best Valorant is on the other side of the coin there. That's PaperX. That's going to be the most difficult because you're not focused on what it is you need to do. You're focused on what it is they are doing and how you adapt to that. That's very complex.
Yeah, I had a chat with Chet today earlier this morning when I saw him, and he said to me, our win condition today is not worrying about PaperX. He was like, we just have to do what we do, because the second you alter your game plan, specifically just worrying about the Yoru and them, he feels like that's when you lose.
I think he's honestly on the right track in terms of the mentality, because you cannot really prepare for this Eurocomp. They will pull out plays that they have never done before in competitive history. They will combo their utility in ways you cannot prepare for. And that is the biggest key I think that OPTIC have, and the biggest trait that they have moving into this series is that experience and being able to adapt on the fly. That's what they're going to lean into now when we're heading into Bind. And I kind of agree with Chet's mentality. If they want to play their own game and kind of ignore that style, I think you can't get sidetracked by that to a degree. You of course have to be worried about it, but you can't let it command your entire presence in the server.
I think they will have to be incredibly reactive. In fact, they're going to have to be one of the best reactive teams that we've seen throughout this entire tournament. And reacting whilst also implementing your own plan, that is a high-level amount of gameplay that you will only see on a stage like this. So this is the kind of thing that OPTIC need to put up. This is unreal.
Yeah, Vanessa's just speaking at a million miles an hour.
That's what happens when Daddy calls. You know that, friend. You know that. I will say though, OPTIC, they are a Masters winner. It is the same roster. They haven't changed anything. These guys, they have what it takes to win. Jess, as we head into the Prime Gaming Agent Select, what would you say is their biggest win condition here on this buy?
Are we talking about OPTIC here?
Yes.
I think it's reacting to what they see and being tighter. I think they weren't tight enough on map number 1. Their fundamentals, I said, is something that they're very good at, but they themselves were not able to display it. And do we get to change it all?
Yeah.
Is that what we're seeing here?
The PaperX composition changing up. This is, I believe they run this again, but my memory is lacking, so I can't remember if they played it too much in officials. But it's a different look.
So smart.
And, yeah, PaperX,
it's so smart.
PaperX do this. I mean, honestly, even FPX did it when they were running their Euros so much that it became easy to prepare for. But this throws a wrench into things, because now if OPTIC have prepared for this Eurocomp, they're going to find a different one staring back at them.
Or conversely, if PaperX think they've prepared, but they haven't, and they've already given away the ace up their sleeve, they may have been able to give away one of their biggest win conditions on this map.
They're bringing in the double controller. What is happening? What is this? They're going for the double controller. There's no Yoru. I'm a little bit worried for OPTIC, but at the same time, I feel like nobody wants to play against the Yoru anyway.
This could be a good opportunity for OPTIC to take this map, though, now.
Yes.
Now that they're playing against something that, I mean, I think the Euro is a comp where you can't prep for it even if you know it's coming because it's so overwhelming at times. But this is a comp they understand. This is a comp that people have played against them before.
You say that, I actually don't think the Euro was one of their biggest win conditions. I think taking space with Jing and being able to flash in for him has been... So if they have that capacity, regardless, I think the Euro, it's flashy, it's nice, it's all of those things. But I don't specifically think that was the win condition for them on their attacking side. So maybe on the defensive, getting intel, being able to respond very quickly, it was. But I think on the attacking side, they'll be safe and set with Jing.
I would love to know what's going through FNS and Chet's mind right now, seeing those agents that's coming in. And I also love to know what Doug and Bala make of this. Over to you guys.
I'm not going to lie to you. I'm a little disappointed that we're not getting Yoru.
I am super disappointed, but I'm also in agreement that it throws out the wrenches and the prep that FNS has FNS and Chet definitely have done on this map.
I mean, the whole thing with trying to deal with that comp is how do you prepare for it? Bren mentioned it. Even if you try, you really can't. But PaperX throw the ultimate juke and move away from that to this composition that you see here on your screen. OPTIC got beaten. They got battered on map 1, and now they have a chance to punch back map 2.
So as we start this, by the way, Bren was right about the comp. This is something that they played PaperX multiple times on their way here to Copenhagen. And it's another opening frag for Forsaken onto Ye.
He tries to get the orb, but Crashies gets 3. Perhaps a bit greedy. Not able to land the fourth. Victor does, though. Pistol goes in favor of OPTIC. That's the start they needed.
That was beautiful stuff from Crashies to swing through their own molly, which obviously didn't get much value, didn't vulnerable anybody, but wow. Then the nade from Victor too on the tap of the orb.
Well done.
And this is the situation that you always get scared of with OPTIC is as soon as they lose, man, you're gonna chip on their shoulder larger than anything, especially when it's a stomp like it was on map 1.
And it's like you've poked the beast in a lot of ways. No buy up here from Paper X. You see the utility across showers.
A lot early spent.
Yeah. Mollies, nades, a little bit of everything, really.
Trailblazer through spots both outside of bathroom. So Marv will decide whether he wants to stay or whether they want to set up a nade play.
They have 2 here. It's well done.
Yay to receive and lamps too while they worry about Forsaken.
He's going to teleport away to safety. There's a shorty. Yay takes care of Devi. Swing comes through. His Mind Freak is left in a 1v4.
Launching smoke.
That was a really, really well played round in all regards to the manner. Mind Freak might have a lot to say about it though, and they have actually rotated off of B. If Finesse is fast enough, he'll be able to cut off the TP.
Against 3? Against 2? Okay. Yay with the shorty at the end. Cleans things up as OPTIC at the second.
Kill on the Finesse is ridiculous, but they did have the proper setup, and that was definitely an improvement on the last maps. Anti-eco. And this is why we're so terrified. Look at the record for Paper X.
That's outrageous.
But it is different now. Slightly. So what did they lose without the Yoru? I think they lose a lot of the map presence that Yoru was able to provide. He could be on one side of the map and then in the blink another, at least on this attack side. They also lose the immense amount of mind games that go through with the TPs.
Finesse has a shorty here, light armor. Again, you see the Trailblazer taking B long. Info gather while Paper X tests the water towards A short. Trying to sneak the way up around the utility as the Viper wall goes down. No challenge had yet.
Smoke down. Cheeky wall drop though. Trying to find Victor there after the boom bot.
Yeah. He tucks into the smoke, Bankai on the tap. The nade comes through. No plant yet. No easy way to flip the map either. You see Forsaken is fully established U-Haul control and he's going to get challenged. You see Crashy trying to go forward, trying to go aggressive. But he hasn't swung out yet. There he comes, there he comes! Crashy's 1! Not able to get the second. 2v2, Zormal Strike drops. And it's Ye who's able to clean things up. Devi has been ice in these situations, but Ye gets it this time. OPTIC gets a 3.
Risky decision there with 13 HP from Ye to hold on to it, but he has been phenomenal. 18 kills in the first game. Follow was a fast one. And Finesse only had a judge there too, so I'm not sure how fast he would have been able to recover the weapon if Ye fell here. Ooh, that was crispy. The ADS at the same time. And here we go, converted bonus. It's this moment right here where Paper X really went on a streak on the last map, and Jing with the stinger. In the Fnatic game, he was ridiculous on that thing, bringing it back from the depths of prior patches.
Mentioned Jing with the stinger. He's actually going to work his way up off the Prowler. Dashes his way forward.
Seekers for Crashies to re-clear. Marv 2 finds the opener on Mind Freak.
And now the Molly too. They're just going to flip the map.
Really great re-clear for OPTIC with that Molly. The smoke coming up at the same time. Crashies has spotted nobody's sand, so Victor and Marv are on notice.
Jing falls. Great response, but Forsaken still able to cause problems. 4v3 here. As you hear just gunfire erupt across the site. Ye's there to welcome Forsaken. Devi and Bankai follow suit. OPTIC 4-0.
Does this feel a little bit like something we've seen here, Doug?
Yes, it does. I'm getting deja vu flashbacks.
We were here 5 days ago since we've seen these teams play. And they got stomped map 1 and then stomped back on map 2. It's only 4-0. Paper X with a timeout. Now Alex is going to talk to the team and figure out how to plug the gaps like they did on Haven.
Yeah, it is early, but you can kind of feel it, right? It's like it's a thickening in the air before a storm. OPTIC are in a position here to where they can make something happen.
Yeah. Typically, the storm is Forsaken walking into the site.
Yeah, that is
right? And without Yoru, this map is so impossible. It's not like Ascent, it's not like Haven, in the sense that you could pull rotations and then jump out of a choke silently. The only place you could do that really is 8 lamps. And they've tried, they definitely have.
Again, with that Yoru comp in mind, oftentimes you have to believe none of what you see and half of what you hear, right? But with this, it's much more expected, right? It's a bit more run of the mill. You kind of know what you're getting.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say with Paper X that it'll anytime be run of the mill, ever, right?
It is Paper X.
And I will say, Jing right now has not gone for much fast aggression. For example, the double satchel that OPTIC loved to do down into the bathrooms. He did do that a lot in the prior match as well, but this time he's really been focused on Hookah. Yay, a big angle.
Oh, Mind Freak with a similar one, and they're getting a challenge at the same time. Ye wins his duel. Can Mind Freak? No. OPTIC get 2.
And Benkai playing catch up, but OPTIC falling way away. Ye's already here on the B site.
Cheng is still flirting around in Hookah, but the spike is on the other side of the map. Looks like it's going to join him, though. Can Benkai play spoiler? Spots Victor, shot's not landing.
Wall allows him to fall back. Meanwhile, Finesse has pushed himself all the way into Octocon, so Ye has to challenge Jing, and he will fall.
And he gets a second?
Down B.
Finesse was able to take care of Divide, but that was it. Now Jing was 70 HP.
Molly can take it down fast.
Be careful, yeah, he gets the spike down, and he manages to preserve his life. He tries to get up top, 24 HP. He's in a 1v3, and no antics this time. Marv cleans him up. They're going to get the defuse. OPTIC get to 5.
In a row, too. And Marv now has the ult. Victor has his ult, too. We've seen so many good trap plays from OPTIC, but in that round, yeah, definitely after losing the original kill from Forsaken, which, by the way, was completely dry all along here. Just running it by himself, playing the TP, playing his anchor. And Ye is too fast for that.
And really, the one bright spot on the first map, you see he's able to continue his antics, but this time it's war by committee. Crashy's playing very well as well.
Alex not happy about this round, or at least the match, how it's going so far.
Tour de force through, a flash down long towards Fountain. And once again, space taken on showers from OPTIC. Look at the pressure that they're already able to apply. Victor has no way out of this. He's gonna go forward, and he gets one with the showstopper! Tries to get the second, and he does!
And you never see Paper X walking into trap plays of their opponents.
One enemy remaining.
They're just jumping through the decay there, and Finesse is just able to clean it up. Marv on the TP, though, does give Mind Freak a little something.
He's gonna need a lot of something. With no armor, with 47 HP.
Yeah, he's behind him, too.
Finesse is getting 3Ks, OPTIC get to 6. We thought it was a whirling dervish of pain on the side of Paper X before. Yeah. I mean, come on.
They thought they had Victor dead to rights with that nade, with the molly as well, which would have instantly killed him.
Yeah, it was a great setup.
And then Finesse as well, who set up the showstopper as well. There was a vulnerable coming in with the snake bite. And it's 6-0.
They've got to do something here.
Jing
has a showstopper. And he has that stinger in hand. We hear Tour de Force come through Forsaken once again. Pushing his way up. Trailblazer in his face, has to give the space up. Elbow spotted. Benkai falls.
Surprised they actually walk into that knowing that Ye wasn't on an angle here on long. Forsaken got deep up there before he TP'd. And they walk into it.
Ye's still concealed. They don't know he's here.
Teleport's ready.
How do they even clear?
I don't know that you do. The one real thing they have here is Jing's Stinger. But he's not in a position to satchel out a hookah or anything like that. They haven't even taken hookah because of the alarm bot that's there. Well, now they know the ops there. Cheeky little swing out from Paper X. Not to get the kill, but Ye took a chunk of damage.
I mean, Jing trying to set up Forsaken there with his shoulder peek. Forsaken definitely could have found the value there.
Ye missing the shot. The threat is there. They know that they've lost hookah.
Ken, how do you get through this wall? This is a full fuel Viper wall right now.
Left.
Here.
And they're out of options. They have to go through.
The one thing they have is Devi's ult, but
Last player standing.
nothing really you can do here. Devi with the clean one, but Marved even cleaner. OPTIC 7.
This is a phenomenal response from OPTIC. 7-0 after losing that first map, the worst they've ever lost on an international stage.
You know I like quoting famous philosophers.
I do. People have no clue.
Oh, no. Well, this one will resonate. Hear me out. It was the wise
You got
man,
5 seconds.
Marshawn Lynch, who said everyone has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. Paper X had a plan. They changed the compositions, but, dog, they've had nothing.
Yep. And they're going back again for this aggression. Last time it was Mind Freak to receive. This time Devi. And the Prowler spots him, so other players are going to be able to join. OPTIC cannot chew off more here. And they won't. All they'll net themselves is one amazing ultimate here. The Seekers on this map. Some rotations come through.
Here.
One thing they're certainly missing is flashes in this comp. And they're not going to be able to clear Ye off this angle. And there it is. Jing falls. The pivotal instrument towards this B hit that consistently comes in for Paper X.
Mass right beneath him, too. You see history position as Nightfall comes through. Ye still with the operator, just unfortunately not able to land the shots as Mind Freak's able to clean up Finesse too. The orbital strike causes problems for now. The PRX just funnel out. They push their way out. They push their way forward. And now they have an orbital strike of their own. Crashies and Victor on the other side. Victor gets one with a nade of all things. Forsaken on the plant. Mind Freak weak. Crashies forward.
Player standing.
Mind Freak gets the third. Victor's gonna have to do it himself, and he cannot. Paper X are on the board.
But it's still a long path ahead. One round here on their attacking side. A place where they cause so much problems over and over. Right now, OPTIC seems to be completely happy with what they're throwing at them. I do think that Paper X, on that round, they were in a position that I certainly did not expect them to be able to win, especially after that orbital strike. It felt like 3 players were mollied in the middle of that, so quite shocking. They've got 2 players boosted up on elevation here, and they haven't hit this A site in quite a while, so OPTIC making the perfect play.
We have liftoff, and it's a no-fly zone! The showstopper finds nothing as Marv gets him! 4v4 here, you hear the Viper's pick come through. Benkai tries to shroud what he's up to on the side, and he does. Forsaken takes care of Ye. Demons exercise as Paper X look to put together a beautiful round. How do OPTIC get back into this? I mean, they have money for days, so sure. Risk it, why not?
One enemy remaining.
But Crashy's entirely outnumbered, and they know where he is. They smell blood in the water. But perhaps Crashy's is a shark. He's gotten 2. Time not on his side, though, and you still have to deal with the Viper spin. Mind Freak cleans him up. Paper X get the second.
A chance there. They took down Mind Freak. Benkai low. W Gaming here, full force. As they cling together too, and this is the streak of rounds that is instrumental to success right now. Shut down the momentum, the motivation from OPTIC. for Marv to shut down the showstopper early. They thought that was a win condition, but immediately he gets traded out.
That was a hell of a shot too, man. Timeout coming through for OPTIC as Paper X have won the last 2 rounds. And perhaps we're flirting with something here where the rounds come in bunches. OPTIC had won 7 straight before Paper X found some of their footing, and that's why you see chat call it here.
Got to make this as brutal as possible to make the second half comeback impossible. And the things that worked there, honestly, was the late round trading, the late round decision making for them to get up close. Because both of those situations, OPTIC got the initial kill. So these are definitely not, you know, crazy fluke rounds. This is Paper X really putting something together here. And they have switched the wall. More traditional here for Benkai to lurk up into the lamps. And oftentimes that is very, very intended to punish Chambers in this situation. And Ye is there at lamps. What a different style we've seen from Paper X so far. It's so slow in comparison to their typical pace. The fastest easily at this event.
And I mean, even when they've tried going fast, they just haven't found much success. Cheeky little setup, good counter molly. Forsaken takes a little bit of damage.
I mean, it's so crazy that they're willing to do that when Ye's on the other side.
Forsaken pushed through. Jing tried to get on the trade, but it was Crashies who wins that one out. Crashies puts another to sleep. It's a 5v3 here for OPTIC, as once again, it seems like their rate of winning out, like outrageously high number of rounds after a timeout may continue.
Spamming.
Clean up from Finesse to get one, not able to get the second. You still have the operator in the hands of VA backside. Oh, the gun barrel gives him away, but he wasn't expecting Forsaken, and now Tour de Force online.
Launching smoke.
They're TPing out too.
Flipping the map.
Marv has no stim here to get back fast, but he will be in short. They have the trip up though from Forsaken.
They're trying to storm the gate safe. The rotations are not late. It's a 1v1. Marv against Benkai. Controllers, but the bullets don't come through for Marv as Benkai gets 3.
Crucial 1v1 to win. And consistently the clutches are caving on the side of OPTIC. It was a massive problem for them in their series against DRX. It was a reason why that initial game went lopsided. Even though they're typically so good at clutch rounds. And this is a great comeback after a 7-0. Remember, 7-0. Here's the double satchel from Jing. Slow on the ground, but it's a fast reaction from Victor, but all it nets is a trade.
The Seekers too, to make sure they hadn't fully established Showers control, so they're going to be able to work their way forward into that.
Ye also found Benkai on the other side of the map. Might find Forsaken here too, and he does.
Dude, and it's the little things. Crashies flashes into short right during that. And that's exactly where Paper X are going. And off of this, OPTIC with a big numbers advantage. 4v2, Mind Freak.
This is a judge here. Swing with the flash.
Judge is there. The spam through. It gets cleaned up. Finesse with the judge, as you said, as OPTIC get to 8.
Last round in
It's
the
that
back.
aggressive pace from Paper X that ends up costing them. Their OPTIC completely ready for the bathroom aggression. Completely ready for both Benkai and Forsaken to try to take some space long. And this map, definitely Jing and Forsaken not finding as much value as they did. We'll see though, Forsaken, only headhunters here in the final round of the half. Definitely a broken bye here for Paper X.
Paper X with the non-existent buy, man. The operator in the hands of Marv as Jing falls.
Copenhagen and Brimstone Ops Name a better duo, and he gets it again.
Oh, shot. Marv gets a second. You see Victor trying to play in a spot where he's able to welcome them, and yay, with the tour de force on the other side.
Marv in the middle of all that gets that off, but finally a shot missed. They'll have Victor to back him up though, and it will net the kill and potentially net the half and respond right back to Paper Rex with a 9-3 of their own.
Benkai just on the other side. He switches over to the Vandal. Prime Gaming Flawless comes through as Ye takes care of Benkai. A 9-3 half response for OPTIC after the bludgeoning that they took on map 1.
Yeah.
Excellent response.
I mean, I'm wondering if all that people talking that Finesse was doing at the beginning of the game was them completely breathing a sigh of relief. After they see no Yoru here, this definitely did not work out for Paper Rex, at least on this half. And this is what I was mentioning, Marv getting off that orbital strike in the middle of fighting on both sides. Perfect for EA to be able to pinch them as they go for the TP.
An excellent response out from OPTIC. Watch the throne, because kings kill when princes feel power.
We're going to half.
Thank you very much, Baller and Doug. There, it's another 9-3, but this time in the favor of OPTIC. I've got Jess and Brent back here with me. Brent, OPTIC, they have an answer. They have the discipline, and the game plan is working.
Yeah, it's kind of handed them on a plate, I think, because the composition of Paper Rex are playing, it's so clear that they're uncomfortable to a degree. Like, they want to play fast and loose, and when they are controlled, when they're running the double controller, the double smokes, they have to play at a bit of a slower tempo to take map control, and they are struggling because of it. They are struggling so much.
It looked like it took 7 rounds until they were confident enough to take those opening jewels, to take space on the map.
Yep.
That being said, the man on your screen right now was one that was denying them a lot of that space. I think OPTIC had a perfect read on the power positions on the map. And this man, we spoke about flashes and the likes of getting Jing in. Conversely, OPTIC had one of the best flashes in the entire server, just going, you can't have it, you can't have it, this is my spot, don't come in.
But I loved how hard OPTIC were fighting over this map control. The entire time, Showers was being denied, Hookah was being re-cleared. They were always taking opportunities to essentially punish and play with complete confidence. You've just got flattened on map number 1, and you've come back in, and you're playing with this much confidence, this much gall to be able to take the fight to Paper Rex. I mean, they are just honestly a world-class and a different team. This is what experience affords you, is opportunities like this to not, just fall quietly into the night. You will fight back tooth and nail, and the fact that it's 9-3 is absurd, but there was adaptations towards the end. Forsaken ended up capitalizing, re-clearing the space, taking it back again as we saw in that final clip. There were attempts by Paper Rex, but is it too late? Is it too little? Because they are sitting at that 9-3 scoreline.
We did say they're one of those attacking-sided teams, so to go into a half where you might not be comfortable, you don't have the usual composition that you run right on the map with, I tend to stray away. I mean, I got the green wall wearing today, and I have a nice little stat to throw up for everyone. If you're aware, OPTIC have won every single map of their opponent so far throughout this tournament. Not just their own map pick, but if their opponent has picked a map, they've won it. 4 of the times that they've gone and they've had to face their opponent's map pick, they've won it, and I think they might make it 5-0.
It's looking like it, isn't it?
I think so too, yeah. OPTIC are looking great, taking the fight to Paper Rex. But Paper Rex, they got to bounce back here. They have to bounce back. It's not an elimination match. They will have a second chance, whoever loses. And I'm going to throw this over back to Doug and Bala to get back into the second half of Vine.
One half in the books, and if you're a fan of OPTIC, you're enjoying the tale that's been told so far. Meanwhile, if you're a paper people? Paper people? Yeah, paper people. You're not digging this one.
Ooh, and a fast double satchel again from Victor. And this has been so successful. There's no Brimstone stim here, though, but here we go. That kind of receive.
And the molly to delay.
Oh, the pinch!
They're just going for it. Forsaken's there, and once again, he gets the opener on the round. The spike, still back Showers, as there are fights all over the site.
And OPTIC already succumbing a little bit to the aggression that we expect from Paper Rex. They even got a haunt down Long B. And Ye was not able to put it down, so a lot of information here for Paper Rex to work with. And I think at this point, they can just chill. Look at the rotation coming in towards this A side. Jing is already here, and he has a nade.
Finesse so weak too. It's actually Ye who's going first. No challenge across U-Haul. There was one towards Dice, and well, it doesn't work out for Mind Freak. Crash User's shown up too It's a 2v2 here, though. They're certainly not out of the woodworks yet.
Wait.
He's gotten into a 1v1. Yay against Devi. Again, clutches have not been on the side of OPTIC so far.
And he knows the information. He's going to plant. Force spawn, no.
No, he's not.
30 seconds left.
All the way.
Devi has no idea. And the thing is, even if Devi were to go in short right now, Ye would know.
And he can't even hear the spike plant. There, he's scratching his head, wondering what the heck happened here.
Goes through the telly again. Ye, wise as to what's going on. One shot left in that headhunter.
And the weapon advantage will be in Devi's favor with the Ghost.
Yeah. He's looking to put that one bullet right between Devi's eyes, and he's not able to, but he does with the clutch. Ye gets 3, OPTIC get 10.
And the pistol round for the leaders this time too. OPTIC received the statement, received the letter of intent from Paper X, and
Nice round, Jay.
they send back a cease and desist on a map that has been completely undefeated, spotless for Paper X right here. And look at this. Off the backs of that clutch from Ye, Paper X is going to say, let's go for a buy here. There's a lot of SMGs here. A Stinger, 2 Spectres.
While OPTIC looking to spoil that day, they still have the gun advantage, even with the investment on the side of Paper X.
Preemptively firing the peak there from Ye. Not looking for the Prowler, looking for somebody walking down with it.
The silence deafening, as Paper X have no idea what OPTIC want to do here. And they're going to go about it the quiet route. Now you see that flash come through. Counter flash, Prowler trying to find something. And it's Jing who's able to get the opener, but Victor has made his way in. And Victor not able to get more with it. You see the investment, it may have worked out. But now Finesse with 40 HP in a 1v3. He's got the Spectre, and Benkai cleans it up. The Stinger too good.
And Paper X has been phenomenal after losing their pistol rounds so far this tournament. Before this game, they were 2-3, a 40% win rate in that round specifically. And that's not one that they could get massive advantages with, or you know, being able to buy a Vandal or anything like that because of a couple of kills or anything. There's no spike plant money from the defender sides. Forsaken going fast on top of this box. It could definitely catch OPTIC off guard here. Oh, he's hiding in the one-way too. This is old school tech.
They don't know. What a setup as Forsaken goes double dipping. Gets a second, third not there. But Benkai cleans things up on Showers.
And the dot's cold there. For OPTIC, not able to actually read the situation.
One enemy remaining.
That Viper orb was phenomenal, and Finesse is just, I mean, he's just dead. The setup for Paper X, they just keep up coming up with such cool things. Just immediately dropping the orb as soon as you could. Forsaken, that's an easy kill against actually a complete anti-strat to that wall that is becoming more and more popular, that actually gives some space on top of that box to peek from. The typical one that we saw, you know, at Reykjavik and tournaments prior was always covering that box up.
Would you look at that ball? We got a little, oh, well, we had a little dual op setup. Ye decides to go for the Vandal. Forsaken still has it. Gonna challenge into short, but again, no one there.
Nice trap here for Victor. They're gonna get the flash, and oh, Mind Freak not able to escape, but gets the one anyways.
Jing lying in wait and Hookah again. The gun barrel, the most deceptive of things, but Ye swings around anyway. Forsaken with the op, had a shot at the collapse, which is over. Sleight of hand not on his side. Now it's Benkai who's left outnumbered in a 1v3.
Spike planted.
And how the heck does he do this one?
Not when they know where he's at. Crashes get to heal up on Finesse as well. He's back up to 100.
so far away. Those little dinosaur arms that he walked out with, causing serious problems here as he swings around, and well, he's greeted by a firing squad, courtesy of OPTIC.
11-5, and while that eco round certainly didn't let this game get completely out of hand for Paper X like we saw from OPTIC in the first map, it's still a long path. Jing there too. Definitely should have gotten that kill on the A.
Jacob, come here. Lock, get up, get up.
Unlocked. Yay, displaying some confidence.
The most unassuming of the group.
Yeah. Usually he's like, I mean, that was lucky.
Interesting buy here out from Paper X. Has that tour de force. Well, he had it as he just gets dropped instantly.
That duel is going to be so much fun to watch.
Secrets through Bankai with Roomba in his face. Didn't get a chance to clear it out at all. As Victor won with the nade, as he's going up top, he's going deeper, he's looking for more. Viper's Pit to conceal anything that's happening on the site.
These executes super clean here from OPTIC. The amount of utility that's on that spawn door, the pipes exit, ridiculous to deal with. And it forces you to be peeking when they're walking out of bathroom. So that's just easy kills to clean up for OPTIC.
Yeah, I don't think Paper X want the heat, man.
And they're going to let him get to match point, but for good reason. If they lost players here, it would have been basically map.
Economy obviously not in great shape either. You see Mindfreak with only 900 credits. Yeah, he's going to bring in the Orbital Strike to the next round.
Last player standing.
Good swing.
And the nice thing is now that Showstopper's online too.
Yeah.
For Jing, so now you see 2 key ultimates online here.
Sure.
Match point.
As we get up to match point here for OPTIC. The narrative that we had coming into this map was there's no way OPTIC come back against a team as good at this map as Paper X. It looks like the decision to switch away from the prep so far that they've been playing at this tournament definitely costing them. One more chance here for Paper X. One more opportunity to keep this map alive. And look at the space they've taken, the haunt, to find something through that smoke potentially, but it doesn't find anything, so they go exploring. And a gap for Bankai too, here in the wall.
Do they check it? Wall goes down.
To be clean.
That's unfortunate. The Molly hit right in the face. Now the nade there, Bankai nowhere to go. Nothing is safe. As Ye trying to check this tight angle, but he could get beaked up from U-Haul. There's the challenge. Orbital Strike comes through. We mentioned that ult at the beginning of the round.
Looking for Forsaken too.
Do they rotate back into his lap?
Love the way that Mindfreak is playing this.
He's just waiting. Patiently, he gets a big kill.
Spike down A.
Now knowledge of where the spike is, the Molly to cut things off.
And Forsaken can strike at any point here too, because information right now is only that Mindfreak's on the flank, but he gets a little greedy and Crashies finds something too. Oh no! It's falling apart.
It's off the rails. But Forsaken brings it right back. It's now Marved in a 1v2. Bankai weak. Forsaken light armor.
Does he know?
He may. He's staring right at it. Averts his gaze. How does Marv do this? He doesn't. That's how. Paper X get to 6.
Great round for Paper X on a number of levels. The one weapon was enough. Save from the last round. And the push immediately down long B. OPTIC was not set up to receive. And also, we have to keep in mind, Marked is all the way deep bathroom, so he spots that pocket, but Bankai specifically was playing there to counter the Victor double satchel. They won't go for it. They're going to go for that trap play with the Molly elbow and the double satchel here. All the way down. Forsaken's here, though.
No, Bankai drops the fight. Bit short, but the rest of the fight is happening on the other side of the map. Jing gets so high! And he manages to get one with the Showstopper. OPTIC just get dismantled, but Ye somehow gets 2 with the tour de force. Hasn't equalized the round quite yet.
Trip just went off, and he also hears the Prowler, Doug, so he knows exactly where both of these players are.
I have the spike.
And he receives the spike immediately, so a lot of time, a lot of space for him to punish Devi here, who will be in a 1v1. 21-9 for him.
Again, you mentioned that 1v1. Devi playing an elbow, Ye quietly sneaking his way forward. Benkai's still on the other side of the map, as he has so many options before him.
45 seconds too.
Is he gonna walk all the way back?
He's
Surely
got, no,
not.
he clears everything, so he knows nobody playing close sight at least. Now he sets up his TPs too, so he can get back out of this situation.
Devi just now starting to move. Ye gets the spike down, Devi's on the swing, the head-to-head, and Ye is dead.
And what started a few rounds ago now for Paper X is certainly real. This was, again, aggression against aggression. Optic want to go for that double satchel up long. But the classic Paper X, this time they actually add Jing to the mix, which just works so well with the showstopper. The haunt in that smoke provides so much value, and they're going to go for it again. And even here, Devi might still send that same exact message.
Going the Prowler in the face of the satchel, and he has to throw it in reverse. Nightfall there, and it's going to hit almost everyone. Ye's the only one who's not there. The swing out. Doesn't find a ton. It's actually Optical winning these duels out. But Devi!
Down B.
With 3 and Ye's left alone. Devi gets 4. Paper X. They're not done with Bind.
Not at all. They gave themselves a hope with the eco round win. And now a few in a row as Optic need to find a way to close this out. It's not going to be to leave Ye in 1vx situations at the end of every single round.
One enemy remaining.
Devi. He joins the stage for the first time this tournament and ends up popping off.
He has been a scoundrel this entire series. Again, you know, we mentioned it on the first map. We talk so much about these other players on the side of Paper X, and well, for good reason, right? Like, you've got a star-studded lineup over there. But Devi, he's putting everyone on notice.
Yeah, at least in these important moments. A couple of clutch situations, or anti-clutch situations, you can call them, that 2 versus 1 for him. He's only at 8 and 17, but massive, massive impact. And on the first round, his stats definitely reflected that impact. This time, not so much. Mind Freak, 18 and 16.
That's crazy. It means Devi was 4 and 17 before that round. But man, you talk about impact, you're absolutely right.
And there's even more than that. Obviously, you got the 4K in that round, but the Fade Prowler shuts down the actual push from Victor there, who's trying to go around the corner with a flash from Crashies. And it was good. Both Mind Freak and Devi were flashed. But the Prowler stopped him. He can't go against the flash if he's flashed. Forsaken's challenging Bathroom here with an op of his own. An Optic on a really, really light buy. They're going to tuck.
No, they're not. Great response out from Crashies, though. As Jink falls, you still have the operator in play Forsaken. And now some info gathered. They understand there is some presence on court. And off of that, there's the pinch, and Mind Freak gets another. Looking to be one of the cleanest rounds Paper X have put together.
Teleport's ready.
And it is worth noting, Optic with a broken buy coming into this one, you still see the remnants of that finesse with the Stinger. Marv with just a Sheriff. Options almost non-existent. Crispy shot, but Paper X gets a 9. And this is like this coming round, Balla, this is where we'll see the impact of the timeout that was called previously.
Yes, yes, absolutely. All smiles for the Paper X fans as they put together now 4 in a row. They've come from 12 to 5. Still 3 match points to go. Important here that they build the bank. So no matter what happens in the round, they're consistently going to have money equipped to take on the push. But look at this. Forsaken might actually go for a peek in the TP.
Yeah, what is he up
to challenge Ye.
Yep.
No, he's going to get out of there for sure.
Drops the alarm bot too. The swing is there. Victor cleans up Jing.
Not a good start here for Paper Rex. They've been winning the early engagements.
And off of that, Victor now one step closer to that showstopper. Forsaken still has that tour de force. Holding down showers, but again, OPTIC cut noise.
Crash is also with the
Teleport's
Seekers
ready.
marked as well. This is a big round to resist. If you're Paper Rex, Forsaken going for a play though. Clears it out with the...
Of course he's going for a play. It's Forsaken. Why not? Crash, he's kind of where the Seeker's there, and that might actually be enough, but no, it's not.
Really want to try to pair those Seekers with the orbital strike too, and now the execute. Large chunk of it taken out, still has it. That's Mind Freak Salt right there, and they want to actually work a pick with Ye.
Yeah, Finesse, who's still flirting outside of showers. And you see the rotations actually coming off for Paper X. They're headed towards B. Oh, how did he not see the shoulder?
30 seconds left.
That looks so close.
I think he knows, he knows. Look at him, the crosshair.
Yes, it's good. But again, Finesse in showers, the leader for OPTIC.
What?
The Doctor Deception tries finessing his way into A, and he does. Turns around, destroys Forsaken. And now Victor gets a spike down.
10 seconds left.
3v3 here, Operator still in the hands of Ye. The rotations now start to show up for Paper X. Time not on their side. Molly to clear out bench, but there's no one home.
Victor 2, showstopper to end this game.
Is that the finishing blow? There's a showstopper.
It's popped
buying
early.
Space, buying time. And Paper X so patient. Stalwart in the face of what's before him. But they have to make a move, and they have to do it soon. And they move right into Ye. This third map looking like a foregone conclusion here as Benkai gets into half. He's going to have to do it by himself, and no, Finesse does it at the end. 13-9 responses. We're headed to map 3. We're headed to Fracture, baby.
A phenomenal response from OPTIC. But even in the face of a crushing defeat, Paper X with a nice little comeback there after what looked like they're going to be fully in despair. The first map.
Well, and the truth is, like, that doesn't go their way by a hair.
No.
It really doesn't. Like, easily could have gone the other way, but ultimately, as you were saying, it's a fake comeback. They bamboozled the people.
So many important moments throughout the entire map. And that one definitely got us off of our seats, off of our feet. Hey, specifically too. I mean, we came into this tournament with him into the conversation. I mean, he was the conversation about best player in the world. And at the beginning of the tournament, he definitely didn't have best player in the world performances. But since playoffs, he's been amazing. The crazy thing, though, is Paper X come into this as a potential favorite, and Jing quietly sneaks his name into that conversation. So far on Haven, he was really good, but map 2 definitely struggled a little bit. We're going to have to see Fracture, where he is insane.
He struggled. Paper X struggled. Break on the other side of this one. Friends, don't go far. Fracture's next.
Boxes, I cannot fit in the boxes. Stop it. Quitting was never an option. And you cannot stop it. Nah, you cannot stop it.
There's a new dawn.
cannot fit in the boxes. Stop it, stop it. Quitting was never an option. And you cannot stop it. Nah, you cannot stop it.
What a response from OPTIC. They take down PaperX on their map pick of a Bind. I'm Yingsu and I'm back here with Jess and Bren. That is the OPTIC we know and love. That is the OPTIC we needed to see in this series.
Yeah, I mean, they almost let it slip a little bit, didn't they? Towards the end, the second half, they like to troll, a little bit of a fake comeback. But no, they ended up sealing it away. And I think a large part of it was down to the fact that PaperX are playing a bit of a slower comp and a bit of a slower tempo to it. And it's something that OPTIC are very familiar with. They played against it regionally a lot of the times. The double controller, it's incredibly popular. And it really did, I think, give them an in. And they were playing with just complete confidence. Complete confidence.
It's like they knew parts of the map to pick and prod and what parts not to pick and prod. It was like they just knew the game plan before they'd even jumped in, which probably goes to the whole prep argument of, you know, Chet, the likes of Finesse and stuff, stepping up and knowing exactly what it is they would be going up against on Bind. If you let it fly, you know it's going to be picked. And OPTIC have not yet, this entire tournament, lost their opponent's map pick. That's 5-0. That is an unbelievable stat to be able to hold as a team like this.
Do you feel like it was a mistake for PaperX to change their game today?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I would agree as well. Yeah, I think the Euro is, you can't really prep for it too much, but this particular round as well, Jess, you highlighted a really interesting question.
Watch this round. If I don't show you who's what team, would you have guessed after what Victor does now, which team is this? Do you think this is Jing? Yeah, I think this is Jing. I think this is Jing. I think this is PaperX. The fact that they can give PaperX a taste of their own medicine in attacking strategy is nice. It wasn't as formidably fast as we know Jing to be, but it gave me flashes of what PaperX were known to be great at when it comes to Bind, and now, well, it's OPTIC's playground now.
Yeah, we're going into Fracture, and I mean, I've got some big questions, I think, largely about, you know, what OPTIC are going to be doing in terms of their preparation, how they're going to be turning it back, because their Fracture's been up and down. It's a map that I think they would consider to be one of their best ones, but maybe not so much these days, just off the back of the fact that, you know, these guys did float Fracture as a map in this pool. But one play in particular I really wanted to highlight is Ye, because this guy, we said it, we got a little bit of a listen in, he said he's locked in.
Locked in.
He looks great today. I mean, Jing's been a bit quiet, but Ye has been having the performance of his life. A lot of people criticized him in the beginning of this tournament. I don't think that anybody is criticizing him right now.
No, I mean, the guy is just on fire right now. And honestly, it's a dangerous element. You're heading into the next map. If he keeps this moving forwards, this kind of form, this is world-class, world championship caliber, which we already know. These guys have achieved it in the past.
Yeah, I think Ye being on the tip-top of his game is great. There's also another player we have to highlight if we're speaking about Fracture. Victor, going to be another linchpin of their attacking and defensive strategy, of course. It's just going to be the whole game plan for OPTIC now. They know they can do it on the best playground of PaperX. They can wipe away that fear a little bit. Now they go into a bit more of an even playing ground. Yes, the DRX result worries me a little bit, but I think there's an opportunity to reset. This is a brand new environment for them to sit on there and prove that the Fracture isn't wishy-washy for them always.
How even is this playground, though? I mean, I know we want to ignore what happened against DRX, but it feels like we can't, really.
No, I mean, honestly, I think PaperX are a team they're going to be probably coming into this next one with a lot of confidence. They started off this map with not a lot of confidence, which was surprising. They were really uneager to trade each other out, take risks, and make plays as well in the early portions of Bind, and it cost them heavily. They got to be coming in with a bit of a reset mindset now. I mean, it has to be a core takeaway. And for OPTIC, I don't know. My brain's empty. My head's empty. I got no thoughts.
Isn't it always empty, though, Brent?
It's always empty, yeah. I'm absolutely the desk's himbo, and I'll defend that title to my dying breath. But yeah, I don't really know what to expect from this team because they've been just so up and down on Fracture recently.
Yeah, I mean, let's talk about Fracture a little bit more. This is a decider. I think I was definitely quite surprised that OPTIC let through Bind and Fracture, but after seeing Bind, they have a plan. They have a plan.
Look, you can look at the stats, and I'm usually, you know me, I'm the stats-heavy girl. I will go back and I will say, well, they've only ever lost once on this map. They have a perfect international record on this map. This is a map that, you know, PaperX should win through and through. But I don't think the stats fairly dictate the variables we have on stage right now. You've got an OPTIC that have won their opponent's map pick, one they thought themselves they would win, and you're coming into an environment where that's the up against DRX, lights fires under very formidable teams like OPTIC's butts. They're going to be sitting there going, we lost that against DRX quite heavily, and we've learned a lot of lessons from that. That's a dangerous opponent to go up against. We're talking about OPTIC in like rematches. I'm talking about OPTIC on the micro level of rematches against themselves on maps. Do they lose? Not very often.
It's going to be really intriguing, I think, moving into the next map, because a lot of questions for it. I know last time as well, PaperX, I had to refresh my memory on this, but they did move away from the double duelist comp that they liked to play the last time they played Fracture. They ended up playing Jing on Sage, and it was a bit of a sticking point for them. So I mean, when we get into the later, I think it limited him too much, personally.
You think?
Yes,
okay.
Because normally he's playing the Raze, and normally he's hyper-aggressive, and he's able to set up a lot of the plays. I want to see them return to that, because to me, it speaks that they are playing with confidence, and they're coming into this with confidence, which was, I think, one of the things they were massively lacking at the start of Bind. They found it towards the end of the series, but it's too late. They weren't afforded a buffer. You didn't have any more opportunities to give, any more rounds to give. It was a bit of a comeback, but it was a fake comeback.
I know you said the lack of confidence on the side of PaperX, but I feel like Forsaken has been the consistency on that team today, where I haven't seen any of that from him. Some of the other players, I feel like you said, Jing has been a little bit quiet, but Forsaken versus Victor, this is going to be really spicy.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it. I think whatever ends up happening as well, it's as well that old storyline that rears its head about Victor performing well. Jesse brought it up earlier.
Yeah.
I think it is a huge part for OPTIC having success on maps, is when Victor feels comfortable and is popping off. So far, it's been a little bit tempered in this series, I would say.
On this particular map, Victor does have to have a big showing. That is his role. That is the agent upon which is entrusted upon him. And to make the space, to take the space, we saw on Bind, they know the power positions on the map that are expected that PRX are going to take. If they want to stop them at the door and they want to keep up this whole attitude of these are the power positions, we own them, you can't get in without a lot of utility, and by that point we fade back. I like that. I think that works. I think they have a very clear understanding that PaperX uses momentum in the early round to the mid round based off those positions on the map. If they keep holding these power angles, they keep fighting for those spots, I really think Fracture's a map where it's very difficult to regain that space. Once you have it, it's rather yours, and that is where the momentum comes the mid to late round. I'd like to see how OPTIC adapts to that.
I mean, of course, winning this gets you a spot in the grand finals on Sunday. It also means that you will get 2 bans, not just 1 ban, but 2 on that day, and that is a massive advantage if you look at the fact that Fnatic and FPX are the 2 teams you're going to have to face, and they have weaknesses, so you can force them onto their weaknesses. So this is a really, really important map here.
I think having that advantage is why, even though we say this is not a knockout game, the stakes for me couldn't be higher. If I was one of the coaches sitting down, if I'm Chet, if I'm Alex, and I'm looking at this, I say to the boys, this is the match we got to win, because it almost guarantees a leg up in the finals.
Yeah. Well, we're into the Prime Gaming Agent Select, and now, again, Bren, you mentioned you don't want to see the Sage here. Do you think that's going to be the change that's going to make a difference?
Yeah, I think putting Jing back on the Raze gives him a bit more confidence. It's the role he's comfortable with as well. He looked uncomfortable last time they played that comp. I actually spoke to Benkai after that match shortly after.
He heard you.
Yeah, I mean, and he said it's a comp that they do actually play. I mean, they haven't played it much in terms of their official matches, but they have 2 versions of it depending on what they're up against. But Jing is going to be playing the Raze, which I am a huge fan of. It goes back to that confidence-driven composition, and I think that's what you need when you're going up against a team like OPTIC. They have not let their foot off the gas, despite the fact that they got absolutely flattened in map number 1.
I like it. I think it will go towards that confidence level you're speaking about. I think this last map is going to be that area where they have to. Obviously, Crash is on the KO. Spoke about him being the clutch master, the power position holder. He is going to be a linchpin just beside the Neon of Victor. I'm wondering whether or not it's going to be a Neon head-to-head kind of thing. Do we come back at halftime and we say, look at this, look what they're able to do? I'd like to see that, but I think that there's so many key stakeholders in both of these teams around the map that I'm yet to be fully sold.
Yeah, it's definitely something to keep an eye on, I think, as we head deeper into this map. And I love as well that we're really just retelling the stakes of this one. You win this when you go to the finals. You get 2 map bans as well. If you end up winning this one, it is a hyper important match, potentially one of the most important ones of both of these players on each side's careers.
But also the lower bracket is way too scary. I don't think you want to be dropping down there to face FPX or Fnatic, and also that also gives you an extra day where the upper bracket team can prep.
That is so important. A lot of people forget that if you have an entire 24 hours to work with, players at this level, coaches, support staff of this level, that is a lifetime of time to be able to work with to prep for one of 2 opponents, and maybe you could just prep for both. It's heaps of time, so let's see who is able to snag that by its tail.
Let's see indeed, as we head into the final map with your casters, Doug and Bola.
Thank you so much, Sue. Gird your loins, hang on to your butts. We're headed to Fracture, and what a perfect place to decide who wins this series. I mean, Bala, you talk about fast versus fast, you talk about OPTIC being the ones who pioneered the Neon on this map. It just doesn't get any better.
I mean, this matchup already was so interesting with that factor involved. And right away, look at Paper Rex, they want to go fast against Optic here, and Ye's got a great setup on top of the box. High-low with Marv.
Color me shocked. They wanted to go fast. Divide with a great
Oh!
trade. As you see Jing tries to get up top and just drop down instantly. Mind Freak not able to find more than one. Finesse weak. Benkai is too. He drops Finesse. There's the swing out. As Benkai with nothing in health is able to get those two at the end.
What a ridiculous round from Benkai. But even more ridiculous, Optic just completely squeezed on that south side. The spawn, they never left it. That's the type of pace and aggression you expect from Paper Rex.
One enemy remaining.
Just the second as well.
Down, attacker spawn.
It honestly felt like at the end of that round, I was like, oh, he got a couple kills. But no, that was all the players.
Yeah, that was all he needed. It's going to be interesting to watch Divide playing the chamber here up against Ye.
They're both set up again, south side crunch. And they're going again.
That stun hits 3 of them. Victor was the only one who wasn't hit, and he was a sitting duck anyway.
One enemy remaining.
Great response, but still,
I mean,
too much to do.
Even when they do get a couple, this is actually a completely failed round from Paper Rex after it looked like a fantastic one. Crashes will get the spike down.
And he's in a 1v2. He spots one player. Shot's not landing. The flash as he swings around. Still has a bit to work with, but Divide cleans him up.
It was a great setup, and obviously the kills came in from Forsaken. Ye was there fast. And the thing that you have to do, you have to decide which side you're going to hold, and Ye immediately is there. Gets the kill, trades it with final player Crashies.
No fireworks today, I'm afraid.
And they just commit to continue pushing through that B site. That's going to be super important because, as you saw, 2 players from Paper Rex were just coming right behind them in halls. And this is going to be a super interesting game if we stay on the south side default that Optic is playing. And it looks like we are.
Mate, I'm not going to lay out of you. I don't care if we stay there, if we go somewhere else. I just want that pace the entire time.
Well, Paper Rex is the first one to renege on the contract that they had. Because they're going up for this north side crunch this time, and it could cost them because Optic looked like they want to just go fast towards the classic B execute, and they're going to be stuck in arcade. And there's a lot of space still possible here for Optic to take.
There it is, the fast lane, the flashes as Victor tries to find space, and he does. He's made his way up to tower. Unscathed so far, but the challenge just on the other side. He swings out.
Oh, no.
Yeah, he overstays his welcome. That's the danger when you push into that kind of thing, but still, Optic have a chance at this. Marv is weak. He gets into a 1v1, and Marv! Ice in his veins as he gets 3.
Keeps Crashes up 2 as we go into the next. So both guns stay, and even though he didn't get picked up, that as long as he doesn't fall completely at the end of the round, he'll be right back into it. Look at this from Marv. The second shot.
Oh, the third.
God.
All of them.
Good shit, Jimmy. Go. Go.
And it's calm. It's not the same type of aggressive energy from Optic after they got run down on, and they will swap. Still no presence on the north side, but they want to go fast to punish Mind Freak here.
And it's actually Ye who welcomes that aggression. Victor takes a bit of his own into the lap of Mind Freak and dismisses him. Again, these rounds, they play out so quickly. Opening seconds of the round, and it almost feels like it's decided.
Spike planted.
This is the type of play you expect to be countering Paper Rex, and right now, so far, looks like it will.
Divide looking to find some value with that tour de force. Again, in a 3v5. The nice thing is he has plenty of options to pick from. 5 targets on the other side. Can he even find one?
They're already saving. Divide just wants to find something with the tour de force.
I know he's not even going to get a chance, it doesn't look like.
I mean, he will if he just opens up the door. Knock, knock.
That's the chance you want. Nothing. Clean round out from Optic. They weathered the aggression coming to them from the western side of the map. They applied a bit of their own on the eastern side, and it was a win all around.
Yeah. And Ye, who has been phenomenal all series long, touted as potentially the operators, players on Fnatic, on Guild, on Optic now, touted consistently as the counter to Paper Rex. And as soon as he got that op online, he finds himself a kill against an aggression down tree, and Forsaken's still not done. With the weapons that they have, they're gonna go for it a little bit more. Finally, a north side spread for arcade control here from OPTIC. He's in trouble.
Yes, he is. The hold out from Forsaken cleans him up.
But look at the space taken now. Victor's already in their spawn. He's pushed up. Nobody else on this B site.
And Marv just joined the northern side off of the rope, so they've made their intentions very clear. They have full B control. They should be able to get the spike down, but they want to fight.
Just a great flash setup for Victor to get more. This is dangerous, though. Forsaken's picked up an op. His ult did run out, though.
Spike
But he's got
planted.
the op. Maybe he can find something with it, a gift. No armor on 2 of the members of Paper Rex. Speaking of gifts, Ness never saw him. Woo. Crashy's able to swing around, take care of Jing. Numbers advantage in favor of OPTIC here. Paper Rex are going to have to somehow get over that, get over the fact that time's not on their side. They're going to go. Are they going for this? They want to keep the op. They're just going to go. Can Forsaken slip his way in? The tap is there, and that should extinguish things.
They can fight the cross, though, here. They can make this expensive, and they will. A shot from Mind Freak, and Forsaken did escape with the op. And they could have even kept them still. On the backside of Jen there. But clean round, clean reaction from OPTIC to just push in after Forsaken gets this kill onto Ye. This is a great stun from him. But this is what I mean, the reaction's so good. This flash to set up Victor, Levi did a good job as well to dodge that, but OPTIC feeling some momentum behind them. As we go for a Paper Rex timeout.
Early one, too.
I mean, all 5 rounds so far has included a tree push, except for that north side crunch that they did. So there's got to be more depth to this. They've got to have a game plan that allows them some flexibility, because right now OPTIC is a brick wall.
Slight lead here, but a lead nonetheless for OPTIC. You see Forsaken on your screen. Now for Ness, trying to talk through how they're going to approach the rest of this half. Some interesting ultimates online on the side, really, of both teams, right? Benkai has his Rolling Thunder, Mind Freak 1 point away from the Viper's Pit, so they have some tools here to try to counter some of what's been going on, but you're right, it hasn't felt like Paper Rex have had the flexibility that they need to weather what OPTIC is throwing at them.
The really nice thing for OPTIC is on both of their defaults that they've shown so far, they've been able to have good reactions no matter what Paper Rex throws at them. This time you expect it to slow down a little bit, but Forsaken again at tree. And we do have a set molly here from Marv. Wonder where that's going to go. Maybe Jen, maybe somewhere at tower.
Tower perhaps, because it seems like that's where they want to go.
Yeah, backside of tower.
That's a great delay, and now the Rolling Thunder that we mentioned to push them back, but Victor has gotten separated from the team. Is that going to be okay, though, as the flash keeps them back? Yeah, with the operator holding his tight angle patient, as Marv is right behind him.
That's a Jing on the other side, too, with Divide. And they're holding firm. This feels like a first for Paper Rex.
But this feels so like OPTIC. Make a bunch of noise at the beginning, and then turn the volume all the way down.
And the nice thing, usually these pace changes make it really easy to set up a trap play, but for OPTIC, they've already baited out that trap.
This feels like vintage OPTIC. Victor's able to take care of Forsaken. Members their way. You see Benkai with the fault line in his face. And now a Victor too, but he's able to dismiss it. Benkai from up top! He's able to find his second! Mind Freak is doing it too. The orbital strike comes down.
Spikes down too.
Oh, and a shot out from Ye! 2v3 here, and Device showing he can wield that thing just as well. Jin cleans him up. We're tied at 3.
And Paper Rex slowing down by miles per hour. I mean, they just slowed down to a crawl. They're not even moving on the map at this point. Divide with the op on one side of the map, and then Benkai with the Very, very nice swing. Also with the molly there from Mindfreak. Very cool.
I don't know how big that gets to there. But either way he does, we're tied at 3-piece. Operator in the hands of Ye and 1 for Devi as well.
Here comes a fast set play for OPTIC again into Halls.
Knife, relay bulging on the swing, nothing.
And this is complete cause for them to just chill for a second because got their backs covered. Ye's got the op to work with, and they've got the opening pick.
Oh, the nade is perfect. Benkai, can he tuck? Is he safe?
That smoke might fade though. Benkai might be able to do massive damage.
Again from up top. Undetected. Finds more value.
Retake wall on too. They can come out of Halls really easily here, especially with that next kill.
Great shout out from Devi. Finesse trying to take care of them both, and he does. A 2v2 here. Mindfreak so far away, but he gets a kill that he needs. Forsaken does too.
Hey, you could get yourself on the desk over there with that sign.
Mindfreak carries the Viper Spit in the next round. Forsaken was able to pick up the op. That timeout, it worked.
Finesse almost brings it back, but definitely a miscalculation. That smoke fading right as they take their eyes off of it, right as they decide they actually want to capitalize on the hit on the first kill. And PaperX take the lead on this map. Much closer affairs so far in this first half.
Nah, but that's what the people want, man.
It's what the people want.
That's what the people want. And it was, again, it was PaperX who called timeout. They figure out what's going on, and now OPTIC attempt to do a bit of the same.
Yep. And a reminder too, this is the upper bracket final. So both these teams, whether they win or lose, have another chance. And it's so important actually for OPTIC, in my mind, to take down PaperX here for the health and safety of this tournament, because PaperX with a 2-map ban advantage in the grand finals would be...
That's outrageous.
That is so hard for anybody. I mean, I don't care who you are. If you're Fnatic, FPX, who we're still waiting on that lower bracket match later in the day. If you're OPTIC going up against them in a rematch too, I mean, such a hurdle. And normally we talk about that, we're like, yeah, this is kind of an advantage, but we're never at the level of PaperX who can pull out a find that's unbeatable. And if they beat OPTIC here on Fractured too.
That's not ready.
Oh boy.
Fault line now, you see Victor again pushing his way forward. Vi has to give the space up. Oh, but Jing taking care of Ye on the other side.
Yeah, he's left all the way by himself. Oh, he's coming across. Oh no. Finesse is here to receive. No! On the ropes, and he's escaping too.
There.
And he took some damage. He's not escaping that one though.
Never seen two Neons run at each other so fast.
He is speed, but Benkai throws the brakes on it. The flash through, and I don't think they know he's there. Benkai gets another. Marv falls, operator from Device. PaperX get to 5.
A crazy round.
Off of the timeout too.
Just a crazy round. They read the fact, and this is the first time that OPTIC has done that, leaving Ye alone up on the top, the north side. And then this is just absurd. Oh my God. And then as well, look at this smoke here from Benkai on the right. This is actually Mindfreak smoke that he's putting out at the beginning of the round. And it gives him so much room. So we tune into PaperX HQ in Singapore. Oh, another ult. Forsaken's going crazy.
The Rolling Thunder was there, and PaperX clean him up. Marv's Molly, a consolation prize as he somehow gets a second. Forget the guns, I guess. Ye with the op still here.
He could isolate this easily, this 1v1, but I don't think he'll expect Divide to be all the way up tower, and he doesn't. PaperX starting to build up a lead here. And that was a fast attempt. So many times OPTIC is going for this fast play in Halls with the neon wall, all that sort of thing, with Mard having a molly as well on spawn. Look at this. This is top of the round, off the barrier.
That is Paper Rex.
One enemy
Well,
remaining.
the crazy thing is, too, normally OPTIC would be very well prepped to handle something like that because they just send Ye, they explore a little bit, not necessarily when they're going for the fast play, but because it's Paper Rex on the other side, they want to punish over and over, and that's another punish there.
No, Divide, this on Chamber is just filthy.
Looking very good.
Forsaken waiting here as people walk right, crosshairs, but Ye with the trade. Ye finds another. 3v3 here on the round. Finesse still with.
Look at this. Marv is actually reading out the flank. Ye's isolated now, but look at Finesse. He's all the way on the other side.
And he's going to do it quietly yet again. No idea as to what's going on. And Ye finds the value. He's got 3 on the round. He's going to try to run away, get to the fences. There's an op waiting on the other side. So Showstopper invested.
Oh, Finesse double thinks himself there.
Oh, and
Wants to challenge, but he only has a sheriff.
Yeah, that's all he has.
This is a great spot, though. Do they expect him here?
Can he find 2? He's going to have to do it with the sheriff. 1 disappears. The 2nd doesn't fall. Jin cleans him up. Paper X get the defuse. They get to 7.
And while this was a close game, all of a sudden that scoreline that we saw in the first map possible. As we go into the last 2 rounds here, still. OPTIC need to bring this back to a 7-5 to make this close because a 9-3 is very difficult to do when you go off to that defensive side against the pace of Paper Rex. Similar comps, but such drastic styles.
OPTIC have to find a solution here soon, and perhaps it's through the ultimates. They have 4 of 5 available. While Paper X is not that far off.
Play, let's
Instantly,
play.
you hear the tour de force come online.
Right there.
Victor throwing a little shoulder, see if anyone's going to challenge him. Marv waiting for the aggression coming down halls, and freaking A, he's right. They're coming. Can he find value? He's already spotted him. The relay bolt is lab. He sidesteps it, but you don't sidestep Jing.
Oh. And Ye's not able to find anything either.
The fast lane.
Off your feet!
And now the Rolling Thunder. And off of that they go. That's a green light. They're getting what they're looking for. They're also looking for Benkai, and Benkai's able to get another 4v3 here in favor of Paper Rex. And it's gone from bad to worse. But can Ye snatch it back? No. It's going to have to be Finesse. Vandal in hand. But it's a knife that's out. And Benkai gets 3. OPTIC are getting dismantled.
Not on home turf at all. And this Benkai has been a menace
One enemy
from this tower position.
He absolutely has.
A menace.
Let's go.
So in that round, he's just completely dancing around, up the rope, down the rope, up the rope. And that's himself 3 kills on what looked like a perfect decision from OPTIC, although they might counter this Viper's Pit. Mind Freak in trouble.
The thing is, you're walking into a labyrinth, and there is no thread from Ariadne to get through. You're going to have to rotate away, and that's exactly what OPTIC do.
Not the OPTIC that we knew from prior maps where they pushed through the Viper's Pit at all costs. And another trap play, yay!
He's caught out, man. He didn't have a chance. And now the ult out from Forsaken. He's only able to get 1. But the molly up from Crashies keeps him back for now.
The movement.
4v2 in favor of Paper Rex. Is Crashies. Oh, it's Benkai again! Heart still beating, still feasting, still eating. A 9-3 half for Paper Rex. And OPTIC on the ropes.
So many lopsided halves.
Spike down.
And this time, there is no chance for OPTIC to just wait for the next map. This time, they've got to come back all the way on a crazy half on the other side.
How deep is the playbook? How strong is the mental? We'll find out at the other side of this halftime break. Yinsu.
Doug! We get 9-3 halves today. I feel like it's cursed at this point. I know the 9-3 curse comes in, but so far it does feel like the team that gets the 9 round in the first half kind of just rolls over in the second.
Runs
I'm
away
not
with
saying
it.
anything.
No, listen, they look large and in charge. They are in control of this map so far. PaperX, I love the return to the race comp that I was saying prior. I think it's added so much more just aggression tools to their arsenal. But a huge component has been Forsaken, I think, being the centerpiece, playing that Neon for them. It's a big reason. Like, he is the guy as well who's been supplemented as flashes from Benkai, stuns from Benkai in the back, and it's Forsaken who's the one who is delivering that final blow. And Victor, I mean, his role now is going to be changing as well when the sides swap around.
I want to pull out this round to reinforce what you're stating there, Bren. The fact that there have been rounds after round where we've had Benkai in positions to read this perfectly. Victor shut down. He knows exactly where he's going to be. Look at his crosshair in that moment. They can't get rid of him, and by himself, Benkai has been the playmaker, especially in the second quarter of this game. He has owned it. It is his own, and I think that we were talking about on Bind, them not having initiator abilities. Benkai was the missing piece there. He's now in action here on Fracture, and all of the other pieces around him are activated fully fold as a result of him.
Yeah, he's been so clutch, I think, in just being able to clean up a lot of these rounds. But I mean, heading into the next one, I think for OPTIC to stand a chance, listen, I'm not gonna single out any player in particular, but I think as well, Ye has been having an absolute heater of a match so far. And right now, you need to just see an extra element to keep up with him, because it's not enough for them. It's not enough, and they have to come back into this some way. It obviously starts at the pistol round, but a difficult tall order, I think, when you're playing against a PaperX who are not slowing down. They're not playing with no confidence anymore. They're on their comfort compositions, and they look just primed to go into the finals.
What I will say is that OPTIC, they have responded already in the series. They do have a chance to respond here because they have to if they want to lock in the grand finals today. Dark and Baller, I'm very, very excited for the second half.
PaperX, throne before the throne, unwavering in the face of greatness, in the face of history. Meanwhile, OPTIC off kilter now, wavering, wobbling, looking for answers, and I don't know that there's much to be found. PaperX with a big cozy lead here now on attack. They can dictate the pace, and that's a terrifying prospect.
Set up for a dish push. And it's going to be fast. The A presence from OPTIC all in halls. That knife sets up Ye to get a lot of space here inside of halls. So they might opt to back up, and Victor has at least one stun to counter and combo.
Go, go, go.
Finesse, but here it comes.
There's the fast lane. You see the utility layered out perfectly as they get onto the site at just the right time. Chick still up top in heaven. That's not able to land the shots. They go a bit wide. Victor still with two, though. And Ye does it as well.
One enemy remaining.
Ye may single-handedly keep OPTIC in this.
I think actually that round device nowhere near, so this defuse is coming through. The round is over.
Just want the kill.
I feel like I've seen that situation. One bullet from Ye, and they will clean it up. But that round already shows a little bit of deficiencies that OPTIC might be able to take advantage of, because what is it? No smoke on halls. So Ye is able to find two easily. And Victor and Finesse did, well, a pretty good job at delaying for Ye so that they could fight in a crossfire like this. Victor with the first two, and then Ye as they're trying now to clean out Victor. No smoke here.
One enemy remaining.
So only one Viper as the controller. Not something we've seen since the beginning of Bind, but PaperX. Ingenuity behind the scenes. See how they cover those gaps.
It's going to be fast. At least that's going to be the attempt with the Molly to keep him back for now. A little bit of hesitation as they're forced to think through how they want to go about this. And well, that's certainly not what you had in mind. Marv's able to get two easy ones with the Spectre on the other side. It's actually the Finesse who gets three at the end there. Clean out from OPTIC.
And they've already brought it back within 4.
Long road to ruin, though.
Again, so much on the line for OPTIC. A PaperX victory here would mean such a difficult road for anybody in the grand finals. And also, they just have to make it through the lower bracket. We know they're good at it.
Light armor on two members on the side of OPTIC. PaperX only with one. See the relay bolts come through and they push Mind Freak back instantly. Hear the crowd starting to get involved. as we near the end of this map. Again, Paper X with a cozy lead here, but Optic are making a run at it. Wall up from Mind Freak. Waiting patiently, but Mind Freak wins the duel.
Oh, and he's already
Forsaken swinging around. You see the pace again is so good.
Double combo of Jing too.
They thought he dropped. They thought he dropped. Jing was still able to get one.
And they're not even hitting this site. They put them in the complete blender.
You see Victor moving forward, crashes as well. But once again, a trap this time. Curse of Mind Freak on the other side. Do you check this cheeky
One enemy
angle? Do you
remaining.
clear your 50? No. No, he doesn't.
A similar position now to what Paper Rex attempted on Bind, a 5-round deficit. Still 2 rounds away from match point for Paper Rex, so slightly different, but you're right, you called this out. Jing hiding
One enemy remaining.
on top of the rope, pretending like he dropped down. And they're gonna have to deal with that really, really fast push into spawn from Forsaken 2.
Victor, the only one on the side of Optic with the gun here. It's a stinger. And the challenge is not his way. Paper X are gonna get relative ease. That was really the only problem, and they've been able to clear that out. Now the members of Optic arrive, and doesn't look good. Maybe Crashies can swing it back though.
He's stuck here. Can Victor get here?
Yeah. Well responded. Jing's still up and having Benkai on the tap. The Molly nade combo, so good. Victor taking the scenic route. He circumvents what's before him, or at least attempts to, but you haven't gotten past Divide. And now you've got Jing who's shown up too. They're pinched, man. You have a Roomba on one side, you have Satchels on the other. Where do you go? Nothing is safe.
Solid utility there from Paper Rex, but Optic as well. Saving there, not going. For what? They got because of the pistol rounds. They want that op in the hands of Ye. And I think that's a great decision. Again, you think about the composition. As we get an Optic timeout, you think about the composition from Paper Rex. The Viper Wall is the only thing. Outside of the Neon Wall, which sometimes is available, sometimes is not. You only have really 2 chances to get into the site. And Ye is the answer.
At least he'll have to attempt to be, again, you mentioned the operator. Seems like that's what Ye's going to be bringing into this next round. Opt to call a timeout. Staring up another outrageously large deficit.
Six rounds to bring it back. Paper X just need 2. And they've already made history, but they are so close to making history even more. A grand finals appearance for an SCA team. This mix of Singaporean and Indonesian players on the side of Paper X doing what has never been done here in Valorant and beyond.
Where do they find value? Who's the catalyst? Is there a catalyst for Optic? All eyes turn to Ye. Operator in hand, shot delivered.
And he's fast to arcade. Can they cross?
Fast lane.
They do.
And
Bark
Seal
to
stays!
receive. It didn't go off.
Can he find another? He does! We asked who the catalyst was. Let me introduce you to Ye. 4v2, here's Jing.
Here.
Up top. No idea, there's someone literally right behind him, but Mind Freak's able to clean him up. This is still a winnable round for Paper X. They have that showstopper, and here it goes. Jing goes up top, lands the shots onto Victor. A 2v2 here. He's gonna get a shot at the second. Finesse on the swing. Jing on the deliver. And Ye once again alone. He's already gotten 3 on the round. He's gonna have to get all 5 just to get Optic to 6. Can he do it?
He thinks they're going back to B.
Oh, I don't think he wants a heat.
Oh.
He may just be saving the op.
No,
30
with the
seconds
spike
left.
plant, he's coming back now. Has to go for this. He's got the tour de force next round, so Game-saving play here possible from Ye for the ace.
With an op. Again, no armor. He's gone entirely unscathed in this round. The biggest challenge is still before him. The operator does not sing. Paper Rex, map, series point.
Match point.
And Ye has been finding massive values against the stars, but this time,
Here comes the party.
Jing is able to find value of his own,
One enemy.
even though Ye's been shutting him down on prior maps. And that was definitely an overplay from Finesse and so many Optic players. It was a 2 versus 3.
You want to play? Let's play.
Yeah, you're gonna have to do it again this time with the Tour de Force. You hear both of them have been used. Mankai has the Rolling Thunder. You hear the Orbital Strike. All of it dumped at once. Can Forsaken find anything with the ult? A broken buy for Paper Rex. Do all of that. Perhaps Forsaken can find the value, no. Finesse cleans him up. Victor trying to find more. 4v3 in favor of Optic.
And they can't go to A. Ye is there. And they've got no wall. They got no wall on this side either. As Mind Freak and Forsaken have fallen, so it has to be just utility, it has to be Divide taking point.
No element of surprise in play here. In fact, they're the ones smoked off. Ah, my goodness. I thought he hit that, but Divide hits that one! A menace on the chamber as Jing does it too. Crashes and Ye left alone! And it's all on to Ye. Oh, to keep Fracture alive. The star for Optic. Alone. In space that's unoccupied by anyone else.
Flashes, falls. Could have been a moment there for Ye if he made the read. He is making the read though, falling all the way back.
The crowd feeling it. Ye outnumbered, and it's not gonna happen. History books have a finite amount of pages.